TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GAA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Seventh Coaches, proud sponsor of Westmeath GAA Hurling Championships. Clark's Bar, wishing all teams the very best today. MJ Stone Building and Developments, proud sponsor of Westmeath GAA.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shay, Murtagh, Precast.
Páirte go nóisle go dtí Páircí Sóg TG. Ladies and gentlemen, you're very welcome to TG Cusick Park for this afternoon Shay Murtagh Intermediate Football Championship final between Tubberclair and Shandonagh. It's damp, it's a bit of everything here today, I suppose. We've had sun, we've had rain. It's been a wet enough week here in Mullingar, but it's already now, it's the last hurrah for these teams. It's unless they go on to a Leinster Championship or something like that, but this is county final day. This is the day they would all be. I'm joined in co-commentary or done co-analysis this afternoon by Paul Donovan and Tom Brown. And lads, you know, it's at the start of the season we were naming out teams that we thought would be here. These two teams probably would have been top of the list for that, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. Yeah, look, I think there's no doubt we have the two best intermediate teams in the county here today. You know, they both finished top of the group, Section A. In fact, they met each other in the last round, and you know, at that stage Shandonagh were through and may have rested a few players for that game. But Tubberclair won that game rather convincingly, rather easily. I don't think it'll be as easy today. I think when Shandonagh came through, very impressively, but Milltown Pass came through the Section B. They won all their games, won them all convincingly, but they came up then against Tubberclair, and they just came up against a team who were, such a great hire, playing much better football than any team that met in Section B, and they were far better team, Tubberclair, in the day. And then Shandonagh coming through against Milltown, who also had a very good game, but coming out of Section B, it's more difficult, and Milltown weren't as good on the day, and Shandonagh definitely deserved to win. You know, Danny Scott had a fine game that day, and I think we definitely have the two best teams here today. Should be a cracking match.
Yeah, and Tom, I suppose if you look at it from the perspective of, you know, Tubberclair are going into the final having already beaten Shandonagh and beaten them very convincingly here. In my opinion, in a meaningless fixture. Didn't mean a whole lot to any of them. Probably meant a little bit more to Tubberclair because they played on the day. But the two semi-finals don't really give us much indicator as to where either side are at, because let's be honest, 3 points Shandonagh beat Milltown by. It could have been any score up until the late rally from Milltown. But having said that, you know, would either team, you know, going into the game today, we didn't learn much from the semi-finals as to who we think are probably going in as favourites today.
Yeah, we didn't, but over the course of the year, you'd have to say Tubberclair have been much improved in the sense that they got to the quarter-final, got to the semi-final. There was a little bit of an if, I suppose, about them. Are they ready to get to the intermediate final? Are they ready to win an intermediate final? I thought they showed a lot of maturity in the semi-final there against Milltown Pass. We have to not forget that Milltown Pass were being talked up as being one of the teams to go on and win the championship also.
Yeah.
Did a very, very good forward line. I thought Tubberclair back line were very, very good. I thought Sam Duncan, there was big talk of him coming back and he was going to be the guy that was going to push Milltown Pass over the line.
And it was actually the opposite.
It was the opposite.
It was the Tubberclair midfielder ruled it in.
Yeah, and then you want your your big guy like Whittaker to stand up, you want Owen McCabe to stood up. They stood up.
Yeah.
At the start of the season, Tubberclair made the decision to go with Keith Higgins in as well. I thought that was a good decision. It's no slight in Danny Salmon, it's just that Danny has grown up with all those lads. He's brought them through minor, probably a different voice, and it helps a manager like Danny to have somebody with the experience of Keith coming in. I think Tubberclair are much improved from last year. I think they're in much better position to go up and contest in the Section B section of senior. Shandonagh, on the other hand, this could be the second year where the team that came down go back up straight away.
Yeah.
Shandonagh are very, very well. I thought Hickey did, Hickey did excellently well with them. He ran his race with them. A new voice came in, and Ray Sheridan, who was a very good
and an outside voice as well.
Yeah, an outside voice. He's regrouped them. And really, apart from that last game against Tubberclair, they trailblazed through the intermediate Section A to get to the final here. I know it was only 3 points in the end against Milltown, but there were 11 points up through in that game.
And like, it's a kind of a flattering scoring.
There's ifs and buts about both sides, but I think we have two of the best teams, and I would like to see both sides go up to Section B, because both of them could contest at Section B, definitely.
I agree with you now. There are a couple of changes that Paul we're just after being handed them there. Darragh O'Connor doesn't start for Tubberclair. He's replaced by Sean Claffey, which has kind of been modus operandi for most of the year. Aaron Craig does not start for Shandonagh. He's had to play in a game, 2 games in the space of 3 days there with St. Oliver Plunkett. He's replaced by Tom Malloy. Again, a change we probably thought was in the offing, Paul.
Yeah.
So.
And Tom, look, Tom's been a huge player for Shandonagh this year, quality player, able to get scores, loves to attack and get on the ball. And, there's a lot of good attacking players on the pitch today. We saw Danny Scahill the last day. Look, Milltown just gave him too much room, and he ran through the middle of the pitch. If you remember, we were coming down in that game, and he had the freedom. He showed you what he can do. He's an inter-county player. He showed you why there the last day,
like any good player, Paul, if you give them that much freedom, I don't think he's going to get that freedom.
He won't get that freedom today, And another player then on the Tubberclair side, Tom mentioned their defensemen so good. Like I mentioned, Milltown Pass, they come through Section B, but they hadn't come up against a back, the quality of Stephen McGonigal there for Tubberclair. He's been excellent all year, solid, but up and down the pitch constantly, getting in great tackles and winning the ball.
Speaking of that backline, like those backline, and we're looking at them there, Stephen McGonigal, Taylor Slevin, another very underrated player,
young player,
and everything like that. So, it's a blend of youth and experience, I suppose, from Tubberclair. But we interviewed the managers earlier on this week. We had Tubberclair and Shandonagh, we had them in with us now. So we're going to get their thoughts at the moment. First of all, it's the Tubberclair management of Danny Salmon and Keith Higgins, and that'll be followed by an interview that we had with Ray Sheridan from Shandonagh. So we're going to pass you over to that. We'll be back with you again here in a couple of minutes. Do stay with us here near VGV. Hope you're enjoying the coverage so far. Here with Danny Salmon and Keith Higgins, managers of Tubberclair Intermediate team. And lads, at the start of the season, we mentioned this already, the goal at the start of the season was to get Tubberclair back to an intermediate final, and that's the scenario now. So you have to be looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose it's been a long year when you think back to January and February when we started out, but the goal was to be still playing football in October, and we're here now and excited, we can't wait.
And Keith, of course, an awfully bad, you've been a long time ploughing the trail here at Westmeath with a couple of clubs, and Tubberclair, the latest one in it, and good bunch of lads down there.
Yeah, really good bunch of lads. Look, obviously, it's no secret. I suppose they have been knocking on the door, and I suppose then getting they've obviously had some very good minor teams winning championships, and getting the likes of them lads through has given the whole group a big lift.
I've seen them far too often as a Shamrocks fan. I've seen them far too often, unfortunately, but it's nice to see that blend of youth and a bit of experience there as well. There's
obviously the youth, and I suppose there's experience, maybe not in age, but I suppose there wouldn't be too many older guys on it as such. They're young guys, but they probably have built up experience through the last few years as well of being in the intermediate. So obviously we're hoping that'll stand now.
And of course, in the intermediate final 2 years ago, Danny, I probably would have been a little bit unhappy last year, maybe not to make it back again, but it shows a bit of resilience on the part. from the club even as well.
We came through the Section B in 2022, and it was probably a little bit too soon. Even though we nearly ended up winning it on the day, it was probably a little bit too soon, and we probably thought within a year or two we might be back there. But it was sort of semi-final, quarter-final in the next 2 years, and thankfully this year now we're back again. But look, we had a stronger probably panel this year with the introduction of the minors, and there's a couple of players that haven't been available the last year or two that have come back as well. So like adding in 9 or 10 lads this year has made a huge difference.
Yeah, and of course the under-20s in the final as well, Keith. So there's a building block there for Tubberclair, and as we've said on many occasions in the press box, wouldn't be out of place at senior level. They're playing to that level.
Well, look, I suppose that's the thing about Westmeath. This intermediate championship is so competitive. You can probably look at 2 or 3 teams and say that they wouldn't be out of place at senior level. So obviously, it's whoever wins the final will be there next year. Whether it's this year, which we hope it will, or going on from that, there's certainly a good crop of footballers coming through in Tubberclair who would absolutely, hopefully thrive and hold their own at senior level.
We want to wish you the very best of luck against Shandonagh here in the intermediate final here. Congratulations on getting as far as, and the very best of luck in the final.
Thanks very much, Dennis. Thank you.
I'm here with Ray Sheridan, manager of Shandonagh, and Ray, we're a long time looking at each other. I suppose maybe in a Fidel jersey I see you was in it, but it's great to be back in a county final and to lead a club to a county final. It had to be a lot of heartbreak last year going back down to intermediate, but the boys have bounced back well.
Boys done very, very well. It's my first year with the boys, and it'll be a great group of lads to work with. We've got championships so far. The first 4 rounds, we got 4 wins. The 5th round, we got a bit of a trimming, to say the least, by Tubberclair.
We'll let that one slide.
Forget about that one. And then in the semi-final there, great win against Milltown. That was always going to be very, very tough. So we're very happy to get over that one.
Yeah, and we've spoken on many occasions on the early TV and indeed in the press box about how tough it is to win an intermediate championship. But Shandonagh made light work of it so far, up until probably the last game where
we had no huge amount to play for in that game, but we came to try and win it, but they definitely didn't go well that way. But in fairness to the boys in Shandonagh, the result didn't hurt them too much. We were back on Tuesday night, training was back to the standards. We had a very, very good 3 weeks ahead of Milltown, and thankfully the performance came in that game. But the final against Tubberclair will be another very, very stiff test. They're a very good side, and we need to perform at a very
best. But if somebody had said, and we discussed this in the press box last week, as if at the start of the year, who would you name that's going to be in the county final? And to a man, I think we said Shandonagh and Tubberclair was going to be the final. Yeah. So it's probably the game that we wanted to see. It's probably the game that most of the neutrals would want to see. But it's going to be a cracking game.
I'd agree on that. I think 2 very good football teams, a lot of very good footballers on both sides, and both teams will go out to play football.
Yeah, and the new rules have made a huge difference. We've discussed this with all the managers so far. Yeah. They've made a huge difference. It's now a shooting fest. It's a score fest. It's who's the better team on the day. There's no relying on over defending or anything like that. You've got to score to win a game now.
No, exactly. Even you're going out to play a team like Tubberclair and have the players like Matthew Whitaker and that, you're not going to stop them. You just have to go out and score more than them. Realistically, the way it is now, you have what bodies in behind the ball. They're not there. You keep your tree up, and I think it will be a shootout with us in Tubberclair, and hopefully we'll come out on top of it.
Yeah, and I suppose you'll be looking for your bench as well. Apart from the 15 that start, you've used quite an amount of players this year, and you will be looking for those lads to maybe step in. If they don't start, they're going to come onto the field to play at some stage.
Without a shadow, our bench has been very good for us this year. And we've used a lot of players, used 4 or 5 subs in most games, and that's the way it's gone. It's very high energy in that middle third in particular, and we have experience in the line to come on, like Sarah and Craig has come on the last couple of games. A lot of good lads, and definitely even go back to the first round of the championship. It was our subs bench that got us over the line against Milltown that day.
That's
right, very, very tight. We got 3-1 from the subs bench that day, Yeah. But no, we're in a good place going into it. Confidence after the weekend will be high, but we got the reality check in round 5. We need to be at our best in the county final.
Ray, we hope you're at your best. We hope to get the shootout that you're looking for, that we're all looking for here in a couple of weeks' time. The very best of luck to you and to Shandonagh in the county final, the intermediate final against Tubberclair. All the best. Thank you. Yeah, wise words there from the 2 managers, Danny Salmon, Keith Higgins, and indeed from Ray Sheridan, who's been there and done that with Terrace Pass and now managing Shandonagh. And Paul, I suppose both managers have added a lot to these panels. Danny, of course, would have been involved with a lot of these lads at underage and has brought many of them through from minor. And as the fellow says, as a Mullingar Shamrocks man, I was nearly sick looking at them over the years.
Yeah.
But, he's got them through. But Keith Higgins has added that little extra dimension, and we know what he's like. We've seen him here with a lot of teams over the year, and you can almost see his stamp on the game as well. And similarly for Ray Sheridan, who's been there and done that as a Terrell's past player, he's put a kind of an individual stamp on the Shandonagh team as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, as we know, like Kevin Hickey was there for years with Shandonagh, up and down through thick and thin. And, you know, Ray's come in this year, lots of experience with Terrell's past and had senior football experience. So, yeah, great addition, good lad. And he's delighted with the way, you know, the Shandonagh he's got on. The people have treated him very well there, because I was talking to him in the build-up. And likewise with Tubberclair, yeah, pushing on, you know, as Tom said earlier, Danny Salmon knows these players inside out. So it's great to have that extra voice from outside, you know. And just looking at, you know, at the team, Tubberclair are very strong down the middle in vital areas. Matthew Whitaker is a player we didn't mention, you know.
Yeah.
You know, Westmeath player, you know, valuable, got over his injury, has recovered well, back to his best now, you know. Owen McCabe there at midfield, very strong too. Fred Kelleher, you know, he's the leading scorer between these two teams. He's well able to get goals and points. And, you know, there's a lot of younger players then, the Tubberclair side, who've come through that Westmeath under-20 panel, who were successful last year in the under-20B. And then, you know, lots of quality there in Shandonagh too. You know, Ben Trainer there at full-back, loads of experience. Adam Trainer also. Dara Conway, you know, lots of experience. And Luke Tynan has been playing very well for Shandonagh this year.
I agree with you, yeah.
Linking up the attack and defence very well.
Yeah. He's added an extra dimension to it.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about Dara Conway, you mentioned him there.
Yes.
We want to wish congratulations to his sister Aideen, who actually got married today. Dara was at the ceremony, came here to play the match. He's heading back to the reception afterwards. So Aideen, if you're watching or if you're paying attention on TV, congratulations to you. And we wish you the very best. But Tom...
And Dara's dad, chairman of the...
And Kieran, Kieran very involved with Shandonagh as well. So
big day for the family.
It's a big day for the family, you know, in many sorts of ways.
Yeah.
Tom, from a southern perspective of the county, shall we say, you've been involved with Maryland and that, you know, they would look at this... Tubberclair would look at this as a perfect opportunity to get up senior. You've mentioned it already. I think both of these teams, I agree with you on that both of these teams would do very well in Section B of the Senior Championship. But as we've said on so many occasions, this intermediate championship is just a nightmare for teams to be going into. And to even get here is a huge step up for any club.
Yeah, well, not so long ago, Tubberclair went down junior, and they were kind of a shock to go down junior for the southern teams.
Lucky to win a junior final with a late goal.
Exactly, yeah. And over the last couple of years, Tubberclair have been the flag bearers for the Southern Westmeath and how to structure your underage, get to underage finals. The intermediate is difficult to win. They have been in the intermediate final a couple of years ago. They stumbled against Multi-Farnham, stumbled in the semi-final a couple of years ago. But what I would say is that Tubberclair must not think just that they're in the intermediate final today, that they're going to get it handed to them by Shandonagh. These guys are tough cookies, Shandonagh. They've played senior football. They've a lot of physicality about them. I just hope that both dressing rooms, especially the Tubberclair dressing room, I just hope that they're focused on the game and the first 15 minutes and getting in at half time with a little bit of positivity, and they don't leave it behind them. That's what I
think I know my answer already. I'm going to ask you who's your tip for today, Tom, but I think I know already.
I'm going to go against myself and sit in the Buddha fence a little bit and say I'm going to go for a draw, because I think it's very hard to decipher who's going to actually win. But maybe come back to me at half time.
Yeah.
I'll know a little bit more.
Oh, yeah. That's a real Buddha one, all right.
Come back in 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes to go in the game and ask him.
Well, I'm going to ask you the same question.
Yeah, look, I find it very hard to call now. Very hard. Two very good teams. There's nothing between them. As I said earlier, the two best teams in the championship by a mile. If I had to edge me bets,
if you had a £20 free bet, who would you go
on Tubberclair. I just go on Tubberclair. I think that the young players coming through.
Just to tell you, if you had €20, Grand's boy is running a 4:15 in Galway. He's a Dunraney horse. Put it on him instead.
He's a Dunraney horse?
Yes.
Running in Galway?
Running in Galway.
Well, that's an absolute kiss of death to that horse. Anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, it's almost time for our Intermediate Football Championship final here. We're going to pass up to the Crow's Nest, up to Ray and Shane Donoghue for commentary on this game. We hope you enjoy it here on ERV TV. We'll be back with you again at half time. But for the moment, it's up to Ray.
TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Sevens Coaches, proud sponsor of Westmeath GA Hurling Championships. Clark's Bar, wishing all teams the very best today. MJ Stone Building and Developments, proud sponsor of Westmeath GA.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shay Murtagh Precast.
You're all very welcome here to the commentary position where myself and Shandonagh are all set for this Murtagh Precast intermediate football final. I think I got it all out eventually, Shane.
We're all nervous today, Ray.
That's it. Shandonagh, the second team out, Tubberclair already out. The lads have spoken to you a good bit about managers. Let's have a look at some of the players that we can look forward to. We are getting word that there is going to be a couple of changes, one change in each team, and I'm going to go to that change from Shandonagh. I suppose it's no real shock. Tom Malloy is starting for Shandonagh.
No shock, Ray. Look, before we get into the hustle and bustle of the game, there's a good Shandonagh man, unfortunately, up in the Maher at the moment. Mick Hewitt, I wanted to give him a shout out. He was very involved in the foundation of Shandonagh when that area decided that the club was going to be reformed and renamed, and I battled against his son Vinny many a time in Milton Pass, played Shandonagh, and just want to give a shout out to Mick. I hope even getting to watch the game lifts his spirits a little bit. Win, lose or draw, it's great that he's able to sit up and have a look at the game. So shout out to Mick and anyone else who happens to be unwell and not in here with us today. We hope the coverage helps to pick up their spirits a bit.
Yeah, and we also give a shout out for those who are not with us in the country. We're showing viewers from all over the world, especially down under anyway. So we're looking forward to a great weekend of football here. You know, with the intermediate today, senior football final tomorrow, minor football final tomorrow, and the replay of the senior hurling final on Monday. Then, of course, the following weekend, Shane, we've Junior 2 and Junior 1 finals coming up.
A feast of football and a little bit of a treat of hurling thrown in the middle of it. But yeah, let's get back to the change. Look, Tom Malloy is starting for Shandonagh, as you mentioned. Aaron Craig went through a full game of hurling on Tuesday night with extra time with Oliver Plunkett, unfortunately from his perspective to come out the wrong side of that. But I think Shandonagh absolutely need Tom Malloy on the pitch. He's their puppet master. We talked about Ron O'Toole over the years. He's that type of player for them. It's a change we expected. I don't think it comes as a shock to the squad or anything, and they'll have plans maybe to introduce Aaron later in the game.
Yeah, and it's becoming more and more of a feature with these teams, is one starting team and then two the finishing team.
Yeah, squads. We spoke about squads and how important they are, and to have enough of players at that quality that you don't weaken your side as you're coming into the stretch. You know, there are players that are able to fit straight into any game at any pace, and this is a game that I expect to see a lot of pace in, Ray. I think the team that plays with the higher intensity will win it. I think if either side decide to slow this game down, that could be to their detriment. I think they're two really good footballing sides, and it's pace is going to win this game.
Yeah, we've seen the two of them in their respective semi-finals as well. You know, Shandonagh got the better of Milltown eventually. It was about 3 points odd. It was in it in the end, but they looked like they were far more comfortable that scoreline suggested. And then Tubberclair, led by Matty Whittaker in their semi-final against Milton Pass, looked a class act as well.
Absolutely, and it's very, very deliberate from both teams how quickly they get out of their own defence when they turn over a ball. or win a breaking ball from a kick out or manage to get a short one away. The coverage from the top of their own 40-metre arc to the top of the opposition's is lightning. And when you've Matty Scully, Daniel Scahill, Garrett Carr, even Ben Traynor might drift off a man, take a ball off the shoulder and come out. And equally we look at that half-back line, James Madden, Tom Kelleher, Matthew Whittaker obviously for Tubberclair, and it's very, very deliberate to get up that pitch as quickly as possible. And both sides will look inside to give an early ball if they can, and that's what makes them really dynamic and exciting to watch, is that energy. And like I said, if they move away from that and try to slow it down a little bit, I think they'll come asunder, because both sides are well able to set up defensively and frustrate the side. Yeah, well, look, with that, Shane, we will go through the two teams for our viewers at home, and we're going to start off with the Tubberclair line out first of all, and they have their goalkeeper, the number 1, Kevin Fagan. And the full back line, Stephen McGonigal wears 2, Cathal Tighe the full back at 3, and Taylor Slevin at 4. A half back now, James Madden at 5, Tom Keller at 6, and Matty Whittaker at 7. There is also that one change for Tubberclair, and it also comes in the middle of the field where Darragh O'Connor, wearing number 8, doesn't start, and he's replaced by number 29, Sean Claffey. Sean will partner Owen McCabe in the middle of the field, who'll wear 9. The half-forward line, Paul Keegan at 10, Fred Keller 11, and Tom Burke at 12. And the inside line, Finn Duffy is 13, Ciaran Connell the 4, the full forward wears 14, and Gavin Delaney completes the Tubberclair line-out. Shandonagh, they line out with their goalkeeper number 1, Cian Malloy. The full back line is Matty Scully at 2, Ben Traynor the full back at 3, and Brendan Killian at 4. Half back line, Garrett Carr at 5, Danny Scahill the captain at 6, and Darragh Conway at 7. That one change for Tubberclair, where Aaron Craig doesn't start in the middle of the field, he's replaced by number 20, Tom Malloy, and Tom will partner Ciaran Faulkner in the middle of the field, who will wear 9. In the half-forward line, Adam Traynor at 10, Conor McCrossan at 11, and Luke Tynan at 12. And an inside line of Ryan Donnelly at 13, Brian Cameron the full forward at 14, and Kevin Boyle, he completes the Shandonagh lineup. A referee for today's game, Barry Pearson, the St Mary's Rochester Bridge Club. I suppose the one focus we're going to look at here, Shane, is this interesting at the very outset, who is going to pick up Matty Whittaker and try and curtail those marauding runs that he makes down the field. Yeah, it's obviously something that Ray Sheridan has had to mull over for a couple of weeks now since the results of the semi-finals. He would have had to look at that in a group game, their last group game. We all know the demolition job that Tubberclair did in Shandonagh that day. I think, you know, a lot of us would have thought maybe Daniel Scahill is a brilliant matchup for Matty, but because Matty being deployed on the half-back line, and in fact I expect Danny to step into midfield where Aaron Craig has been taken out and reshuffle a little bit. I'd say that Daniel will play around the middle of the field like he did the last day, but yeah, who picks up, or when they pick up Matthew Whittaker? Do you man mark him and tag him all the time? I think Milton has tried that in the early parts of the game. It worked to a degree, but Matthew will find space and he'll know what to do. But equally, I think Tubberclair have to watch those runners coming from Shandonagh, and do you man mark and tag a player like Daniel Scahill and try and frustrate him and stop him in those long direct runs, or how do you stop Matty Scully coming out from the corner? You know, he scored a goal the last day. It's not his first goal in championship football, and he's a threat. So those matchups, we'll point them out to the viewers as we see them as they're going on. But equally, I think both sides will try to impose themselves in their game plan on the opposition, try and cause more headaches for the opposition than they're causing for you. Two players as well, maybe going to the radar a little bit, Shane, for Tubberclair, and they're the Kelleher brothers, Tom and Fred, 6 and 11. Two pivotal positions for a team. Yeah, and very, very accomplished footballers, and you know, as you mentioned, they're in pivotal positions, and they're flanked by really good footballers. But that spine, if you look at that spine of Tubberclair, it's as strong as you'll see even in most senior clubs. Their periphery is probably made up of a few younger guys. It's interesting, Taylor Slevin is a Leaving Cert student where Danny Salmon is teaching in the Marist. You know, for a guy that's in Leaving Cert year to be out here in the county final at a cornerback, which is a really important position, you know. We'll break for we're going to have our round of being, because we're almost ready to get underway here.
just looking, Shane, it looks like Tubberclair are going to play from left to right, and probably with the aid of what breeze is in it. I'm not sure, looking at the flags over on the scoreboard, it does seem to be coming down, but certainly Shandonagh forward's gone down to our right hand side here.
Yeah, and look, there was a sprinkling of rain just around quarter to 3, and it dampened that breeze a bit, but it was a significant breeze when I came in here, Ray, from the Duns end all the way down to the apartment. So Shandonagh will play with that favour, and I'm sure that's part of Ray's plan, you know, a really, really quick start like they got in the semi-final and control the game from there. But look, it's time for all the nerves to go away, it's time for the jitters to go. Barry Pearce ready to throw this ball up, and hopefully a huge contest.
Yeah, Gavin Delaney has gone out to the middle of the field there, and he jumps high there with Callum Faulkner. Faulkner had the ball momentarily, but fouled in on the number 15, and a little bit of a worry on the very first ball. The treatment required for the Tubberclair midfielder. I did see Danny Scahill, as you predicted, gone to the middle of the field. He was on the sideline for the throw-in ball. So
yeah, and Caelan Faulkner probably did the right thing there. You just don't want to give them early momentum. It was a little clumsy. It's unlikely you're going to get booked in the first 10 seconds of a game. It wasn't dirty, but he just slowed down Gavin Delaney there and get their defence set up, and we'll see what Tubberclair will be able to work now.
Yeah, Tubberclair have the possession here. They have it across now with Fred Kelleher. Fred Solis off his right foot and then off his left as a teammate making a move inside it. James Madden, James across the 45 then to the corner back is Taylor Slevin. He's right up in the attack here now, and Matty Whittaker on the ball for the second time. They'll want him on as much ball as they possibly can. Collision off the ball there. Referee sees nothing wrong with the ball. Is fisted inside here now, and Tubberclair had an opportunity maybe to pull the trigger there, but two players not on the same page there momentarily. But it's back now with Owen McCabe. McCabe back out into the centre for James Madden, pushing right up. He's halfway between the 45 and 65. The Shandonagh defensive end, Matty Whittaker. Matty directing those players around and has the ball, and then just pops it back as far as McCabe. McCabe with the right foot, lazy ball over to that far side. Shandonagh setting up around the arc, not just putting any press on the ball at the moment. There's a chance here now for Tom Burke. Tom with the right foot is high, but I think we're going to have the first wide after a minute and 50 seconds. Tom just ran out of patience, I think, there, Shane.
I think that was the case where a really good hand pass inside by Matthew Whittaker almost opened it up, and then just a miscommunication by the lads. I just was looking at the Shandonagh setup, and what they're doing is at the top of the arc, they're man marking. The Dara Conway is sitting as a bit of a sweeper just behind them, and they're matching up that way, so they're letting one of the Tubberclair midfielders be further out the field. He's not going to do a whole lot out there, only pass ball around the arc. Ray sure will be very happy with that first defensive setup.
Yeah, and from the kick out, Shandonagh get their first possession. Adam Trainer, Adam just holds it, pops it back inside, and chance now for Garrett Carr as the rain falls again here in TG Cusick Park. Luke Tynan pushing forward there now. Ryan Donnelly thought about trying to play a ball inside, thought better of it. Shandonagh with this possession, still between the 45 and 65, looking around, see what options are on. There is a man over here, it's Garrett Carr standing all on his own. Garrett, fisted ball inside. Dara Conway has pushed forward. Dara, nice and punted ball inside with the left foot. Doesn't go to hand, but Dara's continued his run now, and he's going to take the shot. He's backing himself. He fires it in, and he has the opening score. A little bit of a delayed reaction there. The umpire leaving us go, but Dara Conway, as soon as left his left foot, he was happy with the outcome, and bit of a deluge here now, Shane, but the first kick out is coming for Kevin Fagan. Up in the air it goes. Good gather by Gavin Delaney. Delaney gets the mark. Sets up Taylor Slevin for the attack. Taylor coming forward. Ball is fisted inside. Gathered there by James Madden. James manages to get a ball on to a teammate there, and the shot comes in. That was the number 29, Sean Coffey, with the shot, but it got a deflection. We have a first 45 of the game after just under 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's just a pity about the rain now, Ray, but the lads out there aren't going to pay too much attention to it. Lovely attack by Shandonagh. When you've an inside man like Kevin Boyle that can win his own ball like that, and Dara Conway lucky for it to fall into his hands, but clipped a lovely score.
Yeah, and the 45 was worked short, and eventually it was Matty Whittaker that got on to the end of it, and Matty with the shot kind of against the wind as well. He backed himself straight away and tips a nice point, and we're level after just over 4 minutes, 1 point apiece. And a strange one, the two number 7s with the 2 points, so that maybe gives the intent to both sides.
Absolutely.
Cian Malloy is on high, right out in the centre, broken down. Tubberclair on the breaking ball. Your man Tom Burke gathered, went to ground, but he holds the possession here now and have it moved here now to James Madden. Jim about to be shut down, but he's going to drive forward. Conor McCrossan trying to keep between the player and the goal, but it's gone inside, and then the shot flashed across the face of goal. Tom Burke with that shot. But Tom has had 2 attempts, and he is the only 2 wides for his side there, but he was under severe pressure. But Shandonagh a little bit concerned. Tubberclair making inroads into that defence there, and got the shot, but unfortunately couldn't get the finish.
Yeah, and you know, it's this setup that they have, the zonal setup on the kick out. They really troubled Murtagh Pass in the semi-final with it. Big men around the middle of the pitch, and they're banking a lot of their game on winning that ball that hits the ground area, and here they come away again, Ray, with another breaking ball. And
yeah, Matty Whittaker, Matty foul there. Darragh Conway, the guilty man, and Darren needs to be careful because we're only 5.5 minutes into the game, and I think he ended up with 2 yellow cards, if I'm not mistaken, in the semi-final in very quick succession. So he just needs to settle into the game. A little bit of panic there as Matty Whittaker carried the ball forward.
Yeah, and you will panic when you see Matty collecting a break like that, turning and having 20 yards of space to drive at. But a man we didn't speak a whole lot about yet, Ray, Owen McCabe is going to stand over this, and it's a 2-point range. It was just outside the arch. If he can nail this, it's a real settler for him. He kicked 3 of them in the semi-final, and this will be just about his range now into a touch of a breeze.
Yeah, it comes forward with the right foot. Now it's going to stay in the play, but it's very far simple. Nothing wrong with it. Catch there from the Shandonagh defenders there, but they're turned over coming out now, and Tubberclair have the possession again here now. Opportunity, Gavin Delaney. Gavin gives it back as far as Fred Kelleher. Fred just holds possession, steadies things down, and sees that James Madden is available. Madden goes across into the centre again here, where Owen McCabe has it. McCabe this time just moves it further across to the right hand side, trying to create the opening here for Matty Whittaker. Matty back to McCabe again. McCabe thought about giving the long pass there, but just holds the possession. Then with the left foot fires it back here as far as Sean Claffey. Claffey starting in the middle of the field from about 50 metres out, works it forward. Nice ball in low. Tackles coming in. Good work there by the Tubberclair man there. He held that possession. They have the ball. Shandonagh pushing them closer and closer to the sideline. Tackles are coming in. Now the referee finally gives a free. I think he gave it against Caelan Faulkner in the end there, but Shandonagh did very well to push Tubberclair right into the corner, and a little bit disappointed with the Shandonagh mentors that they didn't just keep him in there and try and get a turnover.
Yeah, and I think in fairness, Barry Pearce let a little bit go there a couple of times, knowing that, you know, this is going to be a physical final when players get caught in possession. But a very tough kick, Ray, from this angle here.
Yeah, I think he's outside the 40-metre arc as well. I think Barry Pearce has shown him exactly where it's been kicked. Owen McCabe has it now with the right foot. Now can he draw it in? Plenty of power, but it's hanging in the air, and it's caught low down there by the Tubberclair defence. Get the free, and they've taken it quickly, and they're trying to get away. Pass, not the best one in the world there, but in fairness to Matty Scully, he did the best he could with it, and then there was a big hit went in there, but an injury. Momentarily for one, the Tubberclair player, I think there was a little bit of panic there. They were calling for a sub to warm up, but they've already taken the free and they have possession over on that far side. Whittaker has it again. Seems to be starting off more in the half-forward line. Cheney's fired this one in, but it's straight into the midriff of Cian Malloy. Malloy now will start an attack for Shandonagh. Right in the centre it goes again with Caelan Faulkner. Faulkner to Darragh Conway. They're only scored. Nice ball with the left foot. Goes down looking for Brian Kavanagh. Kavanagh slips, gets up, and Conway is coming forward again. Ball slips out of his hand. Numbers are there for Tubberclair, and they turn it over here now, and Gavin Delaney has a chance. But again, not anxious to go forward with it at any paces. Shandonagh set their defence. You see the number 10 there, Adam Traynor, dropping right in front of the 13-metre line. Tubberclair holding that possession. Back with Delaney again. Delaney goes inside. Where an opportunity again for Tom Burke. Tom goes across the field there. Lays it off to Sean Claffey back to Whittaker again, and Whittaker has a player over here close to the sideline this side if he wants to keep coming to the left, but just holds it up. Instead pops it back in as far as Gavin Delaney further on as far as Tom Burke. All this happening outside the Shandonah's 45 metre line. Burke does cross the 45 here now. There's a chance maybe to get a shot away, and it is fired in, and it's right on target. Nice score there, Owen McCabe with a 2-pointer there. Shane, no, in fact it's only a 1-pointer. I thought he looked outside the arc, but good kick, and that will settle him down now as well.
Yeah, just coming up to 10 minutes into the game, Ray, and the Tubberclair mentors will be very happy with how their young men have settled here. They're actually controlling it. Shandonagh are lucky. You can see that last breakaway that they made. A good, solid kick pass, one inside by Cavan, and just sloppy handling on the return pass to Dara Conway. But Shandonagh could open up Tubberclair with this kick pass if they use it a little bit.
Yeah, and they're on the run here now because Garrett Carr on to Danny Scahill. Didn't go to hand for Danny, and the ball just slipped away from him, just chance on the break, lost there, but they have it back again now. Ryan Donnelly and puts it on to Tom Malloy. Tom over the other side, and the shot from outside the arc is coming in from Luke Tynan. Luke, he has nailed it. We'll wait for the signal. I think it's an orange flag. It is indeed. Great kick from Luke Tynan, and that's, you know, that'll give him confidence. I think he seems to be picking up Matty Whittaker, so at the other end, if he can turn it around and get a couple of scores like that, and Shandonagh getting a little bit of possession now. Conor McCrossan has it again. Ball is handed out towards Ryan Donnelly. Went over Donnelly's head. He was a little bit slow to react there, but Tom Kelleher steps out, and Tom has possession back for the Tubberclair man. His pass, not the best one in the world. Two Tubberclair players almost getting in each other's way. McCrossan has gone to ground, needs a little bit of support. It's picked up here by the Tubberclair man, the Gavin Delaney. Delaney held up, and then the free is awarded. He takes it on quickly and moves it on to Tom Burke. Starting to liven up here. Burke, did he get a late hit? The referee's letting the play go on. No arm in the air or anything, because they have it inside here now. It's a full forward. It's Keelan Connell. Connell on to Whittaker again. Luke Tynan there in some, and I think a tug back in the jersey there on Matty Whittaker there by Luke Tynan. A free and a softish free.
A little lazy, Ray, but where they're fouling, like McCabe hasn't had a good look at the kick from a free. You know, his angles, he'd won half decent one, his first one, but these angles that Shandonagh are giving up frees are making these very, very difficult kicks for Tubberclair.
3-2 for Shandonagh. This free is very, very close to the side, and over on the far side, going to take it with the left foot. Rain starts to fall again here now as they come forward. It's fired in, a nice kick, but I don't think it's going to, no. Wide number 3 for the Tubberclair man, but like you say, another difficult free.
Yeah, another difficult free, but it's beginning to build. That last score from Shandonagh was well worked. Switch of play by Tom Malloy, lovely kick by Luke Tynan to settle him, as you said. He is a task today, but if he can trouble the scoreboard the other end, it'll be very, very pleasing for Ray Sheridan. All about this breaking ball, Ray, and who's dominating these kickouts, and at the moment is Tubberclair having the Lions' share of possession from kickouts from both ends.
Yeah, Gavin Delaney gathered that one as well. He's got the mark, taking it quickly. Owen McCabe is heading towards the 45. Left-handed fist pass over to Matty Whittaker. Matty comes inside. He's looking around and seeing another opportunity here for Tom Burke. Tom has fired this one in, but it's dropped short, and Keane Malloy has to be careful, and he was exactly that. Pops it on to Adam Traynor, and Traynor over now to Dara Conway. Conway looks up. Doesn't come forward with it. It's very tight in there, but have a little bit of space now as Caelan Faulkner, but not driving out and just living a little bit dangerously. Tom Malloy then straightens the line, and a chance now for Dara Conway to come forward. A nice kick pass, low in front of Ryan Donnelly. Donnelly quickly transfers it inside. Chance for Kevin Boyle to get on the ball over there, but Conway has it, about to be closed down, has support over there on the far side. Shandonagh hold the possession. Conor McCrossan has it again, has teammate coming forward. That's Adam Traynor. Traynor has Garrett Carr here on this right hand side as he steals forward. Now, is he going to take the shot on? He thought about it, just closed down, trying to set it up again. Pops it on now as far as Brian Kavanagh. Kavanagh trying to take on his man. Dummy's inside, and now has he the chance with the inside or right foot. Does get the shot away, but unfortunately not on target. First wide for Shandonagh. Still remains 3 points to 2 as the clock hits 14 minutes.
They're adventurous, Ray. They're all playing with their heads up. They're all looking to kick an early ball inside. They know they have ball winners in that one-on-one situation inside, and maybe conditions are keeping them a little less slick as they were the last day out, but they're certainly very ambitious with ball in their hand.
Yeah, the kick out from Kevin Fagan's bouncing around the centre. Tubberclair man gets a fist on it, but it directs it only as far as the Shandonagh man, and the referee has blown it. There's a head injury here. You can't fault the referee. It happened. It was volleyball out of the centre, Shane, and I think Gavin Delaney just received it. And in fact, it's Tom Burke. He's back, but he's going to be back on his feet in a couple of seconds. But no one getting.
Tom, a young talent that we're all very aware of, and was on the county under-20 panel this year. Ray, he's an excellent footballer, but he's had a couple of wild shots at goal. He's like a young man that wants to impose himself in the game and just hasn't settled enough. But he'll get the work done, and he'll throw his weight around in there. But this is a possession for Shandonagh they can't score from.
Yeah,
Barry stopped it on account of the head injury.
Yeah, there's a blood sub as a signal there. So Shandonagh making his way off. Coming on wearing the number 22 is Jay Costello, but we're ready underway again. Costello, it's Conor McCroston that has the blood injury, but Ryan Donnelly has possession now for Shandonagh. Head towards Tubberclair's 45-metre line, just holds it up. Adam Traynor steps in, and Traynor, he'll give Costello his first touch of the ball. Dara Conway has been pushing forward as well, and the other wing back, or in fact it's the cornerback Matty Scully. Matty a bit wild with that one there. He had a little bit more time, I think, than he thought he had, but he pulled the trigger. But right and wide number 2 for Shandonagh. It remains after 16 minutes. Still 3 for Shandonagh, 2 for Tubberclair. Good kick out from Kevin Fagan, gets it away here as far as James Madden. Back to his right cornerback, Stephen McGonigal. McGonigal tried to tread one through, but Tom Malloy, he intercepts that one now, and there's a chance here for Brian Kavanagh, with Kavanagh's pass, not the best one in the world. He was asking an awful lot of Ryan Donnelly there, but
yeah, another clash, Ray, just as Tom Malloy offloaded the ball. McGonigal ran into him. Tom stood his ground. There was nothing wrong with it, it's just a collision, and Barry has to look after it. But look, the intensity is beginning to lift a little bit. The accuracy has to improve. Matty Scully is normally well able for those little positions, but Shandonagh's forward play is quite dynamic. There, as you said, Dara Conway's finding himself inside. He's drifting inside and running back out to look for that ball where Kavanagh might have made the initial run, or Kevin Boyle made the initial run. He's going in to make the second run. They're very good at probing off the foot. Again, I think if conditions were drier, you'd see them being a little bit slicker. But these couple of stoppages now are just changing the flow of the game. It was just beginning to build nicely.
So number 2.
Yeah, Stephen McGonigal.
McGonigal, play will resume with possession for Owen McCabe and Tubberclair over just outside of his own 45-metre line. The referee is just checking that McGonigal is good to go and happy enough. And he signals now for Owen McCabe to get us underway again. McCabe, ball in hand, looks around, then decides to go long. Down the line it goes here. Gathered very well in the turn with Fred Keller. I think lays it off over on that far side where Matty Whittaker is coming forward again. Whittaker, a trademark burst of speed as he has, pops the ball back, and the ball is finished over the bar. And we can see the danger that Matty Whittaker creates when he gets the ball in hand. I think that was Finn Duffy that finished that one over the bar.
But credit to Fred Kelleher, because McCabe took on that risky kick down the line, and if your forward doesn't win that ball, it makes you look like, it makes you look stupid, to be honest. But that ability to win that ball and turn and offload it really quickly. 2 very, very slick footballing teams, Ray, and they'll grow into they'll get a little bit more accurate as this goes on. They'll settle, and I'm liking what I've seen at the moment.
Yeah, Tom Burke has possession because Tubberclair won it from the kick out again. They're gone in with Paul Keegan to his left corner back. Taylor Slavin goes through one inside but can't find the intended target in the first attempt. But Shandonagh is struggling to get possession here, right back in on the 30-metre line. Referee did finally decide that there was a foul on the Shandonagh men to take it quickly here now, and they need to get it out of their own danger area. They're still back just outside their own 20-metre line, and there's a lot of pressure going to come on Adam Traynor here. Traynor, too many steps, needs to give the ball back now, or it's going to be moved forward, but it is going to be another opportunity for Owen McCabe. little bit sluggy. Shandonagh caught there. They had the possession, took it short, but didn't get break out at any kind of pace. And Tubberclair closed them down, and now they have to turn over and the chance. But they're not going to take the first initial opportunity because they're giving it back now to James Madden. Madden across the 45-metre line. Opens play over to the far side. Taylor Slevin has it again. Slevin, nice low ball inside and quick hands there now, but not held at the first attempt there by Matty Whittaker, but he's fighting for it there. Somehow he comes away with it and gets a shot in. We have another 45.
Yeah, a little bit of aggression coming into the Tubberclair game. They recognised that isolation in the defence, and Shandonagh swarmed very quickly, made sure that they didn't foul. Barry Pearce called it correctly, and I'd imagine because of Owen's first couple of efforts at goal, he turned down that opportunity where it would have been ideal for him. And Matthew still managed to get something out of he attempted across the goal, still managed to get a 45. So another chance for them here.
Yeah, Taylor Slevin, the number 4, is up there. He's going to take it. He's a left corner back, right footed. Gets nice height in, and has he drawn it in? I think he has nailed down. Lovely kick there from the number 4. As soon as it left his boot, Shane, he knew it was on. He just drew it in off that right hand post, and it puts Tubberclair back in the lead 4 points to 3.
Yeah, and deservingly so for the first 20 minutes. Probably worth a point or two more in the lead with the amount of possession and the opportunities they've created. But Shandonagh won't panic yet, Ray. Again, who can get their hands on ball around the middle of the field?
Well, there's another opportunity here now. Owen McCabe went high, he broke it down, gathered well there by Gavin Delaney. He was under severe pressure there, but they have then a high arm in around Owen McCabe, goes to ground, gets the free, and he has it underway again. And that man, Taylor Slevin, Taylor driving forward at every opportunity, thought about taking the shot on, popped it inside. Matty Whittaker then. Matty had expected his teammate of his to move forward there, but straight into the arms of a Shandonagh defender now, and they're in defence into attack now with a little bit of pace. They're coming forward here now. Chance for Luke Tynan. Tynan from the 45, crossfield ball. Will it find its intended target? It does indeed. Tom Malloy is after it again. Tom does well, and Tom was fouled there in the midst of 3 defenders here, and he did well. He had one possession back for his side, but Shandonagh with the opportunity to get level after 21 and a half minutes or so, but they'll be happy. They're economical, Shane, when they come forward, getting the scores, and there's a chance here now to get on level terms as well. It will be a 1-pointer, and I think it's Brian Cameron has the ball in his hand out there, just on the edge of the small D, let's say.
Yeah, and it's almost a gimme. Like I said already, I love the ambition that Shandonagh are playing with when they begin to attack. They're not afraid. Luke Tynan put that ball across the square. A year ago, coaches would have murdered a young man for doing it. But now that we have this readjusted rules, and there's an encouragement of taking a little bit more risk like that, we can see the quality of footballer that we have in the county at all levels. And the more kicking that we get into our game, the better we will be. And these are the 2 best kicking teams in the intermediate, and indeed they're as good as quite a few of them in the senior. So I'm enjoying the ambition of it. You win games by going after them, and one way to do that is to exploit the kick pass rate, whether it's long, airy or diagonal like that was, and give your forward a chance.
Yeah, Stephen McGonigal in the waters again, but making his way off. I think it looks like it's a blood injury there. There is a sub coming in wearing the number 23 for Tubberclair. The number 23 is Liam Staunton, but we'll watch as Brian Kavanagh has tied things up at 4 points apiece. 23 minutes gone. There will be a bit of additional time. Kick out again for Kevin Fagan. Kevin, short run up, right footed, out into the centre. Little flick on from Matty Whittaker. Looked like there was Conor McCrossan going for the ball there, but Shandonagh or Tubberclair have it with Tom Burke. Tom to Whittaker again, and this time with the right foot, fires it in first time. Quick hands here now, but there was a chance for Gavin Delaney. He just ball a little bit behind him and slipped out of his hands, and Garrett Carr is back there, and he has the ball over. Big hit there on Conor McCrossan there by the number 5, James Madden, but ball is out over the sidelines. A line ball for Shandonagh. They're taking it quickly, and they're on the attack again. McCrossan, no ill effects from that last tackle. Pops it in as far as Kevin Boyle. Boyle to McCrossan again, the outside of the right foot, moves it in. Danny Scall, first time we've really seen Danny, and he takes a big hit, then chips the ball forward to a teammate. They have possession in there again. Ryan Donnelly with the left foot. Ryan fires that one in. Now that's a great score. And in fact, it's a 2-pointer.
Score the game, Ray. Score the game with the pressure, the physicality. Danny Scahill coming through the middle, and Tom Kelleher hit and met him as honest as you can be. Ball spills out, and then a super kick from distance. Again, the quality of kicking in today's game has really impressed me, and including this man, he's been very good off the tee. Kevin Fagan, he's done well, and he's driving out again towards these big men in the middle.
Yeah, we see the effect of the breeze on that one there. Now, Danny Scahill starting to get more involved in this game now as it's Garrett Carr. Carr comes forward, quickly lays it off here. Another chance for Shandonagh. Can they capitalise on Kevin Boyle with the shot and Kevin Boyle with the score? And Shandonagh just starting to get a little bit of a grip in the middle. You know, you can see the effect of the breeze on that last kick out. And Shandonagh get possession and moving forward quickly, and Kevin Boyle with a good finish.
Yeah, turning the screw. They were a little sloppy in their first few attacks, and then Tubberclair controlled the next 15 minutes of the game really up in Shandonagh's side. But we can see what Shandonagh are capable of when they get hands on ball around the middle of the field, Ray.
Paul Keegan was very brave there. He went down on the ball there, one possession for his side, and then Conor McCrossan got a good shoulder, got dispossessed, and then handed the ball on the ground. And now an opportunity here. Ball is going to be brought forward here.
Yeah, from when you do the solo and goal, Ray, you have a 4-metre area that you're not allowed to be touched, and Shandonagh infringed on that, and Barry Pearce very quickly picked up and advanced the ball.
Yeah, I thought Tubberclair might have taken on the shot there, but they don't. They hold that possession here now. Fred Kelleher's involved with his back into McCabe in the centre. Gavin Delaney made the run, doesn't use it. Instead, he just pops it to Taylor Slavin. Slavin back to McCabe again. And McCabe then with the right foot fires it over the far side. The ball skips off the ground, and Tubberclair over on that far side do well to hold that possession, but McCabe has it here now, and Taylor Slavin is in a lot of space here. Shandonagh defenders line up for him as he comes forward, and with that right foot fires it inside here now. Conditions are very, very slippery out there. There is a strong breeze as well, Shane, so it's hard to blame players, but you know, we are over 26 minutes into this, and Conor McCrossan has possession. He needs support around him. He had no one. The ball is bouncing around the place. Gavin Delaney does well. Gives it to Whittaker. Whittaker tackled high there by Caleb Faulkner. Free in. Tubberclair have taken it quickly now, and Tom Burke moves forward. Burke over to that far side there. Fred Kelleher pops it in over the top. Puts Matty Whittaker under a bit of pressure, but Whittaker gets away momentarily from Luke Tynan. Tynan turns, gives it back out. Two players coming together, the ball goes to no one, and then lovely skill there from Dara Conway as he picks it up on the run, didn't break stride at all, goes forward and then does well to get the free for his side. That's defence into the attack, the lovely skill there on the wet conditions there by Dara Conway, the number 7, gets the free for his side. It's free between Tubberclair's 45 and 65, they're taking it back, taking it quickly. Danny Scahill hasn't been involved that much, but everything he's done coming forward has been positive. They have it in the centre with Adam Traynor. Traynor back as far as Scully there. Scully drops the ball. Referee see nothing wrong with the tackle sliding in there, allowing for conditions. Good refereeing by Barry Pearce as Garrett Carr now takes it forward. Carr holds the possession back as far as Traynor. Traynor goes into the centre where Conor McCrossan is involved again. Across the 45, he fancies this one himself. He's for this dangerous ball. It's dropped in. Oh, and Kevin Fagan had to be careful with that one. Yeah, it is a point. I thought for a second the umpire had his hand in the air. I think he was maybe waiting for a signal there, but we had a perfect view of which Yana definitely was inside the upright.
Yeah, in one of those conditions, Ray, you know, very, very nervy when the ball floats in like that. A goalkeeper, nearly the last thing he wants to do is contest it. He wants his full back to contest it, but just dribbled over the bar. And look, Shandonagh after making hay in the last 8 or 9 minutes, where at one point they were a point down. We were saying Tubberclair could have been a couple more up as double scores, now 8 points to 4. Playing with the elements, of course. There is significant breeze when you look at the tricolour over the scoreboard.
Yeah, Taylor Slavin tried to find a teammate inside there and go on the ground, handle it on the ground. Referee seen that, and Shandonagh now on the break with Tom Malloy. Tom about to be tackled and fouled there by Gavin Delaney, and I think we're going to have the first yellow card, but Delaney just a lazy tackle there, and another opportunity here for Shandonagh. Let's see.
Yeah, and I've watched him, Ray, in the last few minutes. He seems to be getting a little bit leggy. He's a huge man. They need him around the middle of the field, but he doesn't quite have that engine that's required to cover between 45 and 45 the way they want him. He's getting a little bit leggy, and that was a lazy tackle. But the option other than that was to let Tom Malloy get a run at goal, so in certain ways it might be a valuable yellow card.
Yeah, taken short by Ryan Donnelly. Takes a return pass now, and he's going to back himself with this with the left foot, dropping in, but a call there from somebody inside because the Tubberclair defender just ducked over, didn't try to contest the ball in the air, gone out over the end line.
Yeah, good communication inside from Kevin Fagan to his defenders to let it go. He probably should slow down a little bit on this kick out. There's only 15 seconds of normal time in the half, and they're under the cosh a little bit, Ray.
Yeah, and Danny Scott has won the breaking ball and driving forward. He has an advantage. He's giving it inside here to Kavanagh. Kavanagh on the turn, it's hanging in the air, but no, I think the referee has allowed the advantage, and he's going ahead with 3 minutes of additional time. Shay, we're just into it. I think it's good refereeing by Barry Pearce. I think gave Shandonagh the advantage. Had the chance to get the shot away, not on target. Kevin Fagan has his underway again over on the far side. It's broken down. Shandonagh starting to get on breaking ball now, as they say, and they have it here now. Ryan Donnelly. Donnelly, low ball inside. Campbell can't get a hand on it, and all eventually knocked away from him. And Tubberclair have the possession, but they're inside their own D with their centre back, Tom Kelleher. Tom out to the 45. Matty Whittaker has it. No, it's not Matty Whittaker. It was Paul Keegan over there. Whittaker involved now, and they come across into the centre, and the ball fired across here. Steve McGonigal needs to be careful. McGonigal just settles it down. Shandonagh now are filtering themselves back, just making sure they keep 3 up. Tubberclair moving forward into the last 2 minutes or so. Matty Whittaker trying to just set up a play for his side.
Yeah, this is orchestrated. There's been a call from the sideline, let them know there's 2 minutes left on the clock. This is something that would have been practiced over and over, whether they can engineer a score, but they're certainly not going to take on an effort and let the ball come back down at them again before half time. So I'd imagine they'll be a little bit patient, like we saw at the end of the first half of the All-Ireland Senior Football Final. See can we get a bit of magic like that at the end of it as well.
Yeah, but Matty Whittaker was a little bit too casual there, and Shandonagh do very, very well, but they can't get possession cleanly either, and in fact picked up by Taylor Slavin again, and Whittaker is coming forward here and a chance to get in the shot, and he gets the point for his side. Second one from Matty Whittaker, but Shandonagh in their patience almost paid off there. They had a chance to get in possession there, but Tubberclair did well to keep them pinned back in there, and Whittaker eventually with the finish.
Yeah, and there might be time for one more play. He did say a minimum of 3 minutes, so if Keane Malloy can manage to find one of his teammates here, or whoever picks up the breaking ball, might get an opportunity to have a shot at goal before the half-time whistle. Right?
Yeah, Malloy right-footed, goes high out into the centre. Big man going forward, bounces off the Shandonagh man, and Tubberclair pick up the break here now, and a chance for Finn Duffy as Finn looks around him inside him to see who's available. Tom Burke has it now. Tom, good vision, goes across in the centre where Owen McCabe signals to Taylor Slavin to continue the run on here. McCabe has it, just heading towards that Shandonagh 45. Sean Claffey is available now, and Sean changes the direction and comes across into the centre. Still carries it. Tom Burke on the loop around. Tom, no space to get the shot away, does well to hold the possession. But Tubberclair still probe here now. They have a chance here now with Sean Claffey. Claffey making the run, fisted ball off, and Tubberclair have the possession again. To recycle it back out to Burke again. Burke with the outside of the right foot there, and I think that's going to be the last action of this intermediate final for 2025. Ball wildly across the face. The
Yeah, I think if they continued to probe, Ray, Barry might have given them a few more seconds, but as soon as that ball was kicked across and was drifting away from goal, and rightly, Barry took the opportunity to blow the half-time whistle. 8 points to 5 represents the dominance that Shandonagh had in a 10 or 11 minute period, purely on picking up breaking ball, being a little bit more aggressive in trying to win turnovers, and a little bit more accurate then when they did get their opportunities. A couple of really good 2-pointers.
Yeah, and that's been the difference in the two 2-pointers. Luke Tynan and Ryan Donnelly you know, that has been pretty much the difference between the two sides.
Yeah, and Ryan Donnelly in particular, I thought was an excellently worked score between the team, with the energy, the bit of pace, the bit of power, and then a fabulous finish at the end. But again, you have to consider Shandonagh have played this half with the elements. That is a significant breeze. There's shots that Tubberclair turned down on account of the distance they were out. If they get those opportunities in the second half, they'll close that gap pretty quickly. Quality-wise, I think weather conditions has spoiled it for us as neutrals a little bit, but the ambition of both sides to play that heads-up, ball off the boot, football as it is called. We've often had Pat O'Brien in here talk about football and kick the ball, but both these teams certainly do it, and if they can just tidy up the accuracy in the second half, it'll be a cracker.
Yeah, 8 points to 5 for Shandonagh, and just a note on that note, Shandonagh with 5 of their forwards scoring and Tubberclair with only 1 forward scoring. But we're going to take a break here on the commentary. Myself and Shane, we're going to take a break, but we'll be back pitchside with analysis from the boys downstairs. So from ourselves here, we're going to go to a break. Join us shortly for some analysis.
TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Sevens Coaches, proud sponsor of Westmeath GA Hurling Championships. Clark's Bar, wishing all teams the very best today. MJ Stone Building and Developments, proud sponsor of Westmeath GA.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shay, Murtagh, Precast.
Yeah, half time here in TEG Cusick Park in the Slevens Coaches Intermediate Championship final there between Shandonagh and Tubberclair, joined by Paul O'Donovan and Tom Brown. And I suppose, lads, conditions are playing a huge part in this game today. It's been wet, it's been windy, it's been miserable in fairness, and to play any sort of football today is a credit to both sides in fairness.
Yeah, two teams doing very well, as you say, very different conditions. Lovely and sunny and bright now, but we had an absolute downpour about 5 minutes into the game. It's a very difficult, tricky wind. The scoreboard would suggest that Shandonagh had in the first half. You can see from the pitch here, it's blowing directly into the stand here, so very difficult. Look, Shandonagh, Tubberclair lots of possession early on, but took the wrong options a lot of times, dropped a lot of balls in short into the Keane Malloy and into the square, didn't get enough, taking the wrong options. Shandonagh came up, very little possession, but took the right options and stayed in the game, kicked a couple of 2 great pointers, one from Luke Tynan, one from Ryan Donnelly, and that's really made them been able to kick on from there. And I think with very little possession, Shandonagh have done well to be 3 points up, but they have had probably that wind. And it's going to be a cracking second half.
Yeah, and Tom, on that point, Tubberclair have been laboured in their approach, probably because Shandonagh have defended extremely well, it must be said. Shandonagh are that little bit more direct. They're moving the ball that little bit quicker. They're getting into the shooter. The 2 pointers have made a big difference.
Yeah, Adam Traynor is sitting back there as a kind of +1 there, defending well for Shandonagh. We now understand when we come down pitch side, Tubberclair got on a lot of ball in the first half there, and they were wasteful with it. They didn't go for their 2 pointers. It was because of the wind. But they were sloppy in the first 15 minutes of the game. I have it in my notes around 18 minutes that Tubberclair were just beginning to motor, but it actually turned out that they gave away possession a couple of times, and down the field came Shandonagh, and they had their purple patch. If I was Tubberclair, which is the first time probably they're behind in the dressing room, I wouldn't panic.
No.
They're with the wind. Matthew Whittaker, their star man, has got on a couple of balls and he's got 2 nice scores himself. They are still in the game. They're 9 to 5 up in the midfield stakes, winning breaking balls and all that. I wouldn't panic, but I would tidy myself up in the front, going forward. Just their handling is a little bit off. Get on a couple of scores, and they're 1 or 2 inspirational 2-pointed scores from Owen McCabe, maybe away from getting back into this game.
And the boys up in the press box had the possession stats for the first half. It was 58 to 42 in favour of Tubberclair. They have had that lion's share of possession, Paul, and really haven't made use of. They picked 4 balls into the goalie's hands. It's been free laden, it's been mistake laden, but that's purely condition based. You know what I mean?
Like having said that as well, for injuries as well, there was 3 or 4 stoppages.
There's only 13 frees awarded by the referee, according to my stats anyway. There's only 13 frees because 3 wides for each side. You know, it's just been one of those games where conditions have played a huge part in it. But having said that, would Danny Salmon and Keith Higgins probably be maybe a little happier going into the rest of them to be only 3 points down?
Yeah, well, I'd say with the amount of possession that Shandonagh had in the first, Ray Sheridan would be quite pleased. His team came back into the game. Tubberclair, lots of possession. Gavin Delaney caught some great balls out there early on, and so did Owen McCabe was heavily involved for Tubberclair. Big players down the middle. Sean Claffey as well. Huge game there, catching balls. So, Shandonagh have work to do in that area to get back into it. Danny Scott's playing their midfield. He's not the tallest of players, and Callum Forden hasn't come into it either. So, Tubberclair have had more possession, and they'll be happy. They just, if they get that possession again in the second half, they'll make it count. But Shandonagh are relying on the counter-attack football, and it's paying off them so far.
Yeah, but Tom, speaking of that midfield battle, Tubberclair dominated the early exchanges, but Shandonagh towards the end of that half, they were winning all that dirty ball and putting their head in where you wouldn't put your hand in it, and on certain occasions we've seen a couple of rough and tumbles here just purely condition or because of the conditions. Like a couple of lads have got a bit of a knock and sliding tackles and stuff like that, but it hasn't been an overly physical game as such. Maybe Tubberclair need to get a little bit more physical.
Yeah, but you can't take away from the performance in the first half of Shandonagh. They're coming in probably as the underdogs there. We said it a little bit beforehand. They've played senior football. They could go straight back up after coming down and being relegated last year. They are a physical side. Danny Scattle is beginning to get into the game.
I agree with you,
He hasn't got a score in the game. He hasn't really been in the game.
Conor Crossan has played a huge part in it. And his direct marker, in fairness, Tom Kelleher, really, who has been exceptional in the championship so far, really hasn't got into the game at all yet.
There's been a lot of a tactical battle. That's why I said to you before the game, I didn't really know who was going to win it as regards the 2 managers setting up a chess match against each other. Now we're beginning to see what's to unfold in the second half. Tubberclair have a win. Their star player Matty Whittaker is playing well, but their forwards aren't playing that cohesive game that we're used to. If I was Shandonagh playing against the wind, they know they have a 3-point lead. Keep the scoreboard ticking. Keep that scoreboard ticking in the first 10 minutes. Be in the game with 15 minutes to go, and they'll be happy enough as well. Shandonagh are a seasoned side as well. That's why it's very hard to call how this will go. But if I'm Tubberclair, you need to get going, lads, if you want to win the intermediate championship. 5 points in the first half is not going to be good enough to win it in the second half. You need to kick on and get a couple of 2-pointers with Owen McCabe and a few more. Get Matty Whittaker into the game, and all that possession that they're getting from midfield, make hay with it.
Yeah, and another bit, we mentioned Tom Keller. Brother Fred at centre forward has got on very little ball as well. And it's
top scorer in the championship so far.
What has struck me more than anything else, Paul, is they're not willing to take on a score. Like, they got a free here and played it short after kicking a 45 just before that. It kind of was a little bit silly. It was a super strike,
The subs are going to have a big impact in the second half. You'd expect Mickey Boyle to come on for Shandonagh at some stage, and Darren Beattie as well, and on the other side Conor Elliott for Tubberclair, and then Aaron Craig. I'm sure there'll be enough in the legs to get a few minutes out of him. So,
Tom, you said we'd come to you at half time for your tip. Who are you going to tip now?
I think it's going to be still a draw.
Paul O'Donovan.
I know all the lads at Shandonagh are good friends with a lot of them. I know that they'll tell me I went for Tubberclair. Look, I'll have to stick with Tubberclair because I went with them for the start. But we'll see how it goes. I'll stick with Tubberclair.
Just on that note, you said about Fred Keller not being in the game. He's on Danny Scahill, who's an excellent footballer.
Absolutely,
that's a good matchup to look out for in the second half.
Anyway, we're going right back up to Ray in the Crow's Nest. Teams are coming back up for the second half. Do stay with us here in Earmead TV. We're going for an ad break first and then up to Ray for the second half here. All to play for. 8 points to 5 in favour of Shandonagh at half time here. We'll see you after the game.
TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Sevens Coaches, proud sponsor of Westmeath GA Hurling Championships. Clark's Bar, wishing all teams the very best today. MJ Stone Building and Developments, proud sponsor of Westmeath GA.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of it.
Both sides back out on the pitch. Don't think there's any changes from just looking at both sides coming in. We're waiting on Garrett Carr to make his way across. As he comes in, you see Matty Whittaker gone to the middle of the field. Danny Scahill now probably the matchup Shandonagh be looking for with Matty Whittaker. Would you think he's going to be picked up? We've seen the two of them over on either sideline, but Barry Pearce just waiting for everybody to get back in position. We're ready to get on the way. 8 points to 5. Sorry, Shane.
Yeah, well, I noticed that the breeze that they're picking up against Ray, and that's in Tubberclair's favour in this half, so they'll be looking to close that gap as quickly as possible. But a good break from Shandonagh straight away.
Yeah, straight away. Tom Malloy, nice ball over to Danny Scahill. Scahill moves it inside, but Shandonagh have it here, but it's very, very tight here. Tempted ball to Ryan Donnelly, doesn't go to hand. Tubberclair step in and they have possession again with Tom Kelleher carrying it forward. Waiting for the tackle there, but skips away from it. And Tubberclair now. Sean Claffey, very, very tight there as Tom Malloy gets the tackle, but Tom's tackle was a little bit high here. The foul committed, and Paul Keegan has taken it. And on now to Tom Burke. Tom drops the shoulder, nice play there, but gives the ball across to the far side. Whittaker has it again. He's coming across to Shandonagh 45. Just slows it down a little bit. Tubberclair with that possession. Owen McCabe. Through the hands it goes here. Over on that far sideline, they come across in the centre. Taylor Slevin appointing that open half from a 45. Gives it across now to Sean Claffey has a chance to come. Sean with the right foot, we can see the spin there, but I think it's going to be kept in play as it is indeed. Slipped there, but a good tackle there by the Shandonagh man, and then the foul come in. Good play there by the corner back. That was Brendan Killian. Brendan did very, very well there. He wasn't favoured to win that one, but foul as he was going down on the ball. Shandonagh have possession back with Garrett Carr, and Garrett a little bit lazy with that one, and there's a chance here now for Fred Kelleher, and Fred with the shot. It's only a 1-pointer.
Yeah, we spoke about Kinnegad putting a press on teams at half time, and this is the moment now that Tubberclair need to see can they squeeze this game at Shandonagh, get back on level terms and see how the last 20 minutes will play out. But Keane Malloy just taking his time on this kick out. He realises that he needs to take a bit of a sting out of it. Tubberclair, he can't let them get ahead of steam up, right?
Yeah, right forward he goes high. You can see it held up in the wind, broken down, and Tubberclair on the breaking ball again there with James Madden. On the attack they go again. Matty Whittaker, 2 points in that opening half from the 45. He thought about taking the shot on, just he was under a little bit of pressure there, just thought the better of it, didn't kick it away, and Taylor Slevin with the possession now and has a teammate over on that far side. McCabe just waits over there. He's always available then for a pass. He has it inside of Shandonagh 65-metre line. He's trying to direct 2 players who are on front of him just to move away, spread the play a bit. There's maybe an opportunity to get a ball into Paul Keegan, but Paul doesn't get the pass, and McCabe just turns in and back to the other side he goes for Taylor Slevin. Taylor, fisted ball over to the far side. Tubberclair have a lot of possession now, and McCabe thought about taking the shot on, but then gives it to Fred Kelleher. Fred now with the outside of the right foot. Has he nailed it? Yes, he has, and it's a two-pointer. Fred Kelleher. I think the boys were saying he wasn't on much ball in that opening half, but certainly he's been impressive so far. 2 shots and 3 points for it.
Yeah, and they're on parity now, and that's exactly what the instructions at half-time would have been, to see could they get a couple of scores from range, force Shandonagh to come out on top of them when they have that ball, and they'll work ball inside after that, get Matty Whittaker doing those 1-2 and driving, probing runs. But again, kickouts are critical, Ray, and so far today Tubberclair have come up better, but a breakaway for Daniel Scahill now at the moment.
Yeah, Scahill does very, very well. Gets run out to Dara Conway. Conway with the left foot goes inside. Nice ball in over the top. Opportunity here. The ball has gone across. Oh! It is over the bar though. Garrett Carr, I think it was. It was just a little bit behind him there as he came on to that. It was a great run. It was a great ball in as far as Kevin Boyle. Kevin just bouncing across the front of the square there, but Garrett Carr will regret that one. Shane, maybe get the boot through, and I know it's very easy kicking them from up here. Kick out. Got it well here by Fred Kelleher, and Fred takes it on quickly now, gets it into his full forward. That's Keelan Conlon. Conlon is around his man, trying to respond straight away, but opportunity lost, but he was being fouled, and the referee is going to bring it back further free, and a chance for Finn Duffy. I'd say we'll kick this one with the left foot.
And just to mention on that last Shandonagh score, yeah, obviously they've carved open, but Kevin Boyle's been excellent inside, Ray. Every ball has been kicked inside to him. He's won every ball cleanly. In conditions like this, it's very tough. He turned his man, laid it into the path of Garrett Carr, and he just got under it a little bit.
Yeah, Finn Duffy is ready with this free. Just on the 20-metre line. So 1 point attempt, but we hope to get his side back on parity just 5 minutes into this second half. And is it currently now? He judged it absolutely perfectly there. There's a little holding of the breath there from the Tubberclair supporters. He thought that one had gone outside the post, but Finn judged the win perfectly, drew it in. We're tied at 9 points apiece. Just over 5 minutes gone in this second half. Shay Murtagh Precast Intermediate Football Final for 2025. Still very much there for the winning as Cian Malloy launches this one out. Danny Scahill, as he did on the last kick out, onto the breaking ball straight away, moves it in quickly, and they come now with pace. Luke Tynan, nice ball inside, popped off Kevin Boyle. That time can't hold it, but Tubberclair have the possession, they have an advantage. The referee is going to allow them to continue on because they're gone out across their own 45-metre line, and Matty Whittaker is taking it into the Shandonagh half of the field. Matty, this is when he's at his most dangerous. Matty Scully trying to slow down his progress. He pops it on now as far as Fred Kelleher. Fred with the ball inside, but it doesn't go to hand there. Good tracking back there, and that's Adam Traynor there, the number 10, back in defence, and gives the ball on to Conor McCrossum being fouled by Tom Burke, and he's getting away. He's fouled more than once, but the referee, I think, is going to have a word with Tom Burke.
Yeah, I think so, Ray. He's right too. Tom, again, I mentioned him earlier, he's a little frustrated to get himself into the game, and that was sloppy, but he was lucky not to be advanced 50 metres. If McCrossum had attempted to solo and go, it definitely would have been more punishable.
The chance now for Danny Scahill to go forward with it. Gets Boyle there. Boyle doesn't take on the shot. Instead, gives it as far as Brian Kavanagh. Kavanagh with the shot. It looked good when it left his foot, but by the time it finished, Shane, the wind took it and drifted left and wide. So we see the strength of that breeze, and even from the kick-outs, you can see it as well.
Yeah, and that's going to be the difficulty for Shandonagh. They're going to have to work it in that little bit closer, and then when they do get those chances, they're going to have to take every one of them, because we can see the Tubberclair are going to be happy to kick a little bit from distance.
Kevin Fagan launched this one out, and ball goes high, but Owen McCabe didn't hold on to it, but he did very, very well off the ground. And now there's a chance here for James Madden to go forward. Madden inside the Whittaker. Whittaker tackles high. Referee doesn't see anything wrong with it. Ball breaks. A chance here for the centre half hour, Fred Kelleher, but Fred doesn't get the distance on the kick that he was hoping for, and the goalkeeper, Cian Malloy, had to be careful in there, and he did very well, and then coming out with the ball, and referee is signaling a free in there, I thought.
Yeah, Ben Traynor just took that extra step coming out, Ray. I thought he was going to take his man on down the line. He decided to skip inside, and it was that extra step, and Barry was on point to give that over carrying. Good pressure from the Tubberclair forwards. they'd almost carved open a chance. I don't know, was it a foul on Matty when it got to his hands, but another chance for young Finn Duffy, and he kicked a lovely one from here a few moments ago. As you said, he judged the win very well.
Yeah, a little bit closer to the sideline this time. Sure, is he inside or outside the arcs? We'll see. He's inside, left foot. We're right behind him, and unfortunately for Finn, that time not on target. Wide at the near post. It's a very, very tricky breeze to kick into. The last one, Shay judged it absolutely perfectly. Let it off at the far post and drew inside that time. Didn't get it across the centre enough. Shandonagh won't mind. Keane Malloy is out and ready with the kick out.
Yeah, and I think Keane is doing very well here. These small little details in coaching, controlling the pace, that the more few minutes that he can take or seconds he can take off on his kick-outs to stop this Tubberclair team that have the elements on their back. They're winning the breaking ball, and just those little things that Ray Sheridan would have coached. You'd be pleased that lads are tuned in and doing it.
Kick out that time, we're now over the sideline. McCabe goes long route one with it, finds it. Teammate inside, the ball is with Finn Duffy. Finn Dummies comes inside. Didn't have the finish he was hoping for there.
Yeah, maybe strike it first time. He was in a perfect spot. I know he tried to work the better angle, but Ben Traynor got across, put a bit of pressure on him, and a poor wide. Tubberclair need to settle because they've achieved what they would have set out in the dressing room at half time. You know, let's get parity, let's start getting a bit of control around the middle of the field, move the ball a little earlier inside to their players. They have everything's in their favour at the moment. As we might have expected, Aaron Craig has just been introduced, and I think they need that bit of size around the middle of the field for Shandonagh just to put a couple of attacks back to back.
Yeah. Comes inside, immediately gets involved with one of the Tubberclair players. See a hamstring, I would imagine, very heavily strapped up. So we're going to have he's going to hopefully last the 20 minutes. There's out into the centre, Gavin Delaney. Yeah, I think referee doing the sensible thing, getting Keane Malloy to launch the kick out. It's going up, coming forward, and they're breaking on. The breaking ball is Tubberclair again. They're coming forward. Matty Whittaker has a chance here. Can he get enough space to get the shot away? The answer to that is in the affirmative, and Matty with his third point of the game.
Yeah, he's beginning to impose himself. He's been very accurate when he gets that couple of yards of space, Ray. A good score, and the right way for Gavin Delaney to answer Aaron Craig. When Aaron came in, a little bit of physicality, he went up and he broke the ball, and the score came from him contesting in the air.
Yeah, Keane Malloy. It's all very well slowing things down when your team are in the lead, but gone behind now. They need scores, and right footed he fires it out, and you can see the effect of the breeze as it hangs in the air. But well judged over there by Garrett Carr, and Garrett, nice quick ball down the far sideline. Chance now for Shandonagh to come on the attack again. The ball has gone in towards Brian Cavanagh. Brian pushed on the back as he was going down on the ball. Referee right on top of matters, sees the push, awards the free. Now is a chance for Ryan Donnelly when he take it on off the left foot. In fact, I thought it was outside the arc, but referee sings inside, but it would be a good kick into the breeze that we have here today. Brian Cavanagh, in fact, is going to take it with the right foot.
He's already robbed a couple of yards. I'd imagine Barry's going to go over and point out the spot to him, and rightly so. Obviously you're going to try and do it, but this is a tough kick, Ray, into that wind from that angle for a right footer, but it'll be a huge score for Shandonagh if Brian Cavanagh can nail it. But nothing easy about this, Ray.
Yeah, he's taking his time. All eyes on the number 14, right footed. Now he's trying to draw it. It's coming right across the front of the goals. Dangerous. Tubberclair have the breaking ball, and then it looked like there was a trip there on the Tubberclair man coming out with the ball. The referee agrees on my view of that one there, and right in on their own end line, it's going to be a free out possession back with the Tubberclair man, Matty Whittaker.
Yeah, and interestingly, Matty's standing there with 40 yards or 20 yards of space around him, and you know, Shandonagh want to get at now this game. They're going to have to tag that man. I think they're going to have to tag him man, not let him influence the game. Here he is, he found a bit of space, and he'll work it out from there, Ray.
Yeah, he's right back in his own right corner back position, goes inside with it, and Shandonagh trying to put a squeeze on, but nice calm play by the Tubberclair man there, that Tom Kelleher involved that, and the move it across to the far side where it's picked up by Tom Burke as the sun shines here now in TG Cusick Park, but don't be fooled. There's not much heat in it, as they say. And Burke carries this ball forward, goes left, goes right. Player coming off his shoulder. It is that man Whittaker again, but he's tackled very well by the opposite number 7, Dara Conway, but great awareness from Whittaker there, just one-handed, gets the ball back to a teammate, and Taylor Slavin now has it just out inside of Shandonagh's 65-metre line. Owen McCabe slows things right down. Tubberclair trying to stretch the play here. There's a chance now for James Madden to get involved. He has Fred Keller here on the side if he wants to use him. Instead he goes back into the centre. Whereas Slavin is involved again. Slavin on now to McCabe. McCabe soling forward. Players making the run. He continues on. Fisted ball inside. Whittaker has it again. Whittaker from outside the arc pulls the trigger. It's a dangerous ball. It's kept in play very nicely here. Opportunity here for Tubberclair. Managed to full forward Caelan Connor, but Caelan did very, very well. Shay, he kept his eye on that ball coming across, and
yeah, a couple of times Ray ball has gone in and it never be in his favour, but he's a super pair of hands and did well. He's after engineering a free, and again it's one of those you'd say is nearly a banker for Finn Duffy.
Yeah, and the left foot.
And just squeeze that lead out to 2 points. Just a word on Tom Malloy. He hasn't been as effective in this game as he has in earlier rounds of the championship, so he's been tagged very well by Tubberclair. He'll need to find himself on ball soon, Ray.
Yeah, Finn Duffy makes no mistake with the kick. 2 from 2 in the second half, or 2 from 3 maybe in the second half, but 2 frees anyways. Lead come back out to 2 points. Tubberclair in nice position, Shay. We're almost halfway through the second half, and Shandonagh battling into a very, very strong breeze here now.
Yeah, it's poised nicely, Ray, for the last 15 minutes and whatever couple of minutes of injury time might be played at the end. A well-taken kick out from Aaron Craig, and he'll need to do a little bit more of that for them as well. Kavanagh's on the ball, but like I said, they have to try and find Tom Malloy, who's beginning to buzz through the middle now. He might make something work.
Yeah, Shandonagh have possession here now. There's a chance for Dara Conway to get on to it. Good tracking there by the Tubberclair men. No one able to get clean possession. Eventually breaks to Conor McCrossan. McCrossan carries it forward here now. Tries to get a ball inside. Good tackling there by the corner back there, Stephen McGonigal. But Stephen did well, got a hand on the ball, but it was picked up by the Shandonagh man. A bit of a lazy foul then, and an opportunity. Danny Scahan is standing over. It's on the 45-metre line. It's fairly central. I think Brian Kavanagh is going to come over and take it, is he?
It might be kicking, but we saw Taylor Slavin kick a beautiful 45 in the first half, Ray. You know, if you've got that strike off the ground, it will drill through the wind, but it's a score very much that Shandonagh need, and it'll bring them right back into this game on parity.
Scahan with the right foot. It's a lovely, lovely kick.
Yeah, and the umpire signalled a point, but I think Barry Pearce was the 2 arms in the air. It was well outside the arc, an excellent score, and again 14 minutes left on the clock, draw game, and we're really getting into the boiling point of this championship.
Yeah, the kick out over on the far side is broken down. Tubberclair working well, and Matty Whittaker is on. He's gone forward. Needs to be tagged as he goes right in along, but there's plenty of danger in there now as they come in with it. The shot on the response there. Lovely kick there.
Yeah, Keelan Connell again, clean hands, turns his man sharply and chips a lovely ball over the bar, and a perfect answer from Tubberclair to that last 2-pointer from Shandonagh.
Always a good sign of a side that when they can see the score, they can go back down and get one back themselves. And that's exactly what happened. 12 points to 11. Tubberclair lead. Keane Malloy, right footed. The breeze has eased off a bit, but Keane certainly getting a good bit of oomph in them kick outs, getting good distance, and Shandonagh do very well to fight and win possession, but ball given away there, and we fear of maybe too many steps there, and Finn Duffy has possession, gives it back to Taylor Slavin. Slavin looks up, there's a lot of Tubberclair players over on that far side of the field in space, and he has found one of them over there. Coming forward now is Matty Whittaker. Whittaker back now, and another opportunity here. McCabe fires this one in high. It's hanging. They need to be careful. Bounces off a defender there. Tubberclair first to react to him. Good defending there to push it out here now. And the chance here for the wing back here was James Martin, but James had the chance there, but just
Yeah, he'd be
snatched
very,
at the
very
opportunity.
disappointed, Ray. Very disappointed with himself because he's been very good. He'd an excellent first half carrying ball and breaking lines and making himself available for everyone. You know, when you pop up like 8 or 10 yards out from goal there, probably fist the ball over the bar is the safest thing to do. It would have just opened up that 2-point gap again, but substitution coming on for Shandonagh there, right?
Yeah, Darren Bitty was the man in place of Dara Conway, so the last 12 minutes or so, kick out from Kim Malloy. It's a good one, and Conor McCross does well to pick up the breaking ball. Darren Bitty, the sub, first opportunity to get a touch on as McCross fires it with the outside of the right foot across this side of the field. Garrett Carter thought he picked it off the ground, but I don't think he did. Goes it back inside to McCross, and McCross just holds the possession, gets a look and see what's around him, holds on to him, pops it off now to Adam Trainer. He's on Tubberclair's 65-metre line. Aaron Craig gets involved in it as well. Has possession. Tries to move players around the place. His midfielder is Caleb Faulkner. Faulkner back now to Trainer again. Trainer trying to get away from the Tubberclair player, but Shandonagh do hold the possession. McCrossan has it again here, pops it back to Trainer. Tubberclair won't mind their set up just around the arc and forcing Tubberclair or Shandonagh to go over and back. But Darren Bitty does well, gives it inside. Ball moves further across towards the terrace side here now, and Kavanagh has come out from the full forward position, and the shot coming in from Adam Trainer. That's a great kick. He becomes the 6th forward on the Shandonagh team to score. We see a sub coming in down the ground. Oisin O'Mara is making his way, and we'll see who's coming off in a second. But they showed good patience that time, Shane. They worked the opening ball.
Yeah, and I mentioned in the first half the quality of kicking on both sides, and in that instance it's a kick at score, but they're kick passing, and everything off the boot has been very, very good tonight. Young Finn Duffy has just after being replaced there. He's had a good game for his county final. It's those moments now, these last 10 minutes, and teams have prepared for this. Who are we bringing in? Who can help us see the game out? But at the moment, Shandonagh have their nose ahead after that fabulous score.
Yeah, Oisin O'Mara wearing the number 27 who's come in, and the kick out has gone into the centre. One there, and ball somehow manages to pop out, and no one looks like they wanted to get possession. But instead, Garrett Carr comes in and wins the possession back, gives it to the man who's just got that point. That's Adam Trainer. Trainer carries it forward, has support here if he needs it, pops it on to Tom Malloy. Tom gets away from a couple of Tubberclair players, and he carries it forward. They need him involved more with this game. Craig has it here now and gives it off to Trainer again. Adam Trainer. Adam carries it forward. A couple of players in support. One of them is Danny Scahan. Scahan steps inside. He's looking around to see who's available. Fisted ball inside. Kavanagh spins away from the corner back, only momentarily, because McGonigal doesn't allow the shot to come in, but Shandonagh have an opportunity. There was a chance there maybe for Caelan Faulkner to pull the trigger there, but didn't do it. Back now with Darren Bittu again. Bittu to Malloy. Malloy to McCrossan. 13-12 in favour of Shandonagh. 21 minutes on the clock. McCrossan has it. Tom Malloy is there. He's waiting. Trying to just entice some of these Tubberclair players to step out. Maybe give a little bit of space. He's gone right from one side of the pitch to the other. He's gone in across the 45. Nice ball inside. Looked like there was a push in the back. Referee doesn't see it there, but Shandonagh do very, very well to hold that possession. And then Darren Bittu gets away from a high tackle there and does very well to hold it now. And it's on now as far as Adam Trainer. Can he do it again? Will he fancy taking on the shot? He's gone into a little bit of space. Runs into a heavy tackle, and then it straightened him up actually and got the shot away, but it drops into Kevin Fagan's arms, and Tubberclair are going to have to get out of that. The corner back is McGonigal. McGonigal does very well in the half, but Shandonagh just trying to put a squeeze there inside that 45-metre line, but they're out. Tubberclair are out. Contai has a chance to get it away, and Owen McCabe now pops it on here now as far as Paul Keegan with James Madden in support. Madden takes the ball on, goes into the centre, but forced to just hold the possession, give it back to Gavin Delaney. Delaney has a teammate over on that far side. Can he find him? I'm not sure what it was, but a dangerous ball inside. It was off the outside of his right foot. Went off on the Shandonagh defenders in there, and it's gone out over the end. It's going to be another 45 as Dara O'Connor, wearing the number 8, makes his way on. And the number 17 for It's Mickey Boyle. Mickey's making his way in.
Yeah, Mickey replacing his brother Kevin. Going to be like for like, or is it Kevin who's coming off? No, Ryan Donnelly is coming off. But, and Ryan's had a good game inside and he's worked hard coming back out, Ray. A very wise head coming on with Mickey Boyle and a guy that can take a score if he gets an opportunity. Keenan Connell did very well to shepherd the Shandonagh defenders to guarantee this 45. And it's a good chance to level things here.
Yeah, get the subs in there. O'Connor has been introduced in place with Paul Keegan, and the 45 is fired in, but it's not on target.
Was it Taylor Slevin that took it again,
Slevin
Ray?
again with it, yeah. This thing
a young man that's played very well. He's picked up Tom Malloy every now and then when Tom passes him by, and he did kick his 65. I see him running back out to tag Tom Malloy again. And for a guy that's in a leaving cert year in school, he's had a very good county final so far.
Yeah.
7 or 8 minutes left, Ray. You still can't call what's going to happen here, and it's getting exciting for everyone in the park today.
Cian Malloy has gone very well out that far side, and the referee sings a foul on one of the Shandonagh men. I'm not too sure who it was. Tom Malloy is over there involved, so was Ciaran Faulkner, but possession with the Shandonagh men. Darren Lee. Not sure how it's going to be. Conor McCrossan has the ball in his hand. The referee, I think, seeing this has not been taken in the right place. A little bit confusing here what's going on. Tom Malloy has his on the way here. Darren Bittu, you know, good work there by the Shandonagh men, because it looked like they were heading in the wrong direction there for a second, but they have the possession. You know, Matty Scully involved there as they go forward. Now Darren Bittu, Darren carries it in, goes into a heavy tackle, but does well just to offload the ball before the hit came in, and Tom Malloy has it again. He's very, very close to the side. He looks up, first chance for the sub that's come in, Mickey Boyle. Mickey does well to get the possession over there. They've gone very close to the side, and Darren Bittu has it. Darren a little bit caught there, wasn't sure for a second what to do with it. To move it inside, and the shot comes in, and it's over the bar. Nice score there from Shandonagh.
Yeah, I think it might have been Garrett Cardigan on the end of it, but Mickey Boyle, after being introduced, is after handling the ball twice in there. Darren Bittu, who came on, is after handling twice. Now Darren's touch let him down a couple of times, a couple of high solos, but a very valuable score for Shandonagh, Ray, with 4.5 minutes of normal time on the clock.
Yeah, 14-12, the kick out, great catch out there in the middle by Owen McCabe. Tries to get it in quick, in there towards Tom Burke, pushing the back there. Now there's a chance here for a 2-pointer. No, Tom Burke is not going to take it. He's going to try and see if there's anything else on. He's gone in right inside, takes the ball and with his left hand fisted over the bar, back to a 1-point game. I'm not sure whether Owen McCabe was too happy with that one. He was making his way. It was a 2-point opportunity, I think, but
oh, I think very sharp from Tom Burke. You know, young lads often can get a little dizzy in county finals, but he recognised he was in behind the defender. He has a 4-metre radius from where the free was to do his solo and go quick action and take that score, close the gap, and see can they press this kick out. So I wouldn't disagree with Tom doing that. As much as we know Owen McCabe's a good kicker from distance, that's a guaranteed score, and in these tight few minutes, that's what you need.
Sub coming in for Shandonagh, Ciaran Faulkner, the number 9 is making his way off, and it looks like Cormac Gordon is making his way on.
Yeah, again another wise head coming on. I think Caleb had a fine county final. He played here in a county final a couple of years ago, was that little bit younger and got lost in it, but I think he did very well. He battled very well for Shandonagh out there in the middle of the field. He's congratulated by Ray Sheridan as he comes off the pitch for his efforts.
Cian Malloy, another big kick out. Gathering by that man, Sean Claffey in the middle. Sean quickly moves it forward. Tubberclair with the possession. The man that got that last score, Tom Burke, inside. Gavin Delaney moves it across now. Owen McCabe doesn't control it, but he has enough time. As Tom Malloy just tries to put a little bit of pressure on him. McCabe holds the ball, heading towards the terrace. Over on the far side on the 45-metre line. Back in as far as Claffey again. Claffey comes forward with it. Has Tom Burke in space here on this side, gives it on to Burke. Is Tom going to fancy the shot? He's gone inside and with the outside of the right foot. Well, when you have the confidence and your confidence up, that's a 2-pointer. That was a great score
Yeah, a young man with outrageous talent, Ray. We've watched him for a while, and he was so nonchalant the way he just stroked that off the outside of his boot after dropping the shoulder and skipping inside. A superb score to go a point ahead, but just a little more than 2 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, 15-14 now for Tubberclair, so urgency now at Keane Malloy. His kick out is gathered well by Conor McCrossan. Back in with the fullback Ben Traylor. Ben under a bit of pressure here. Ball clearance a little bit wide over on the far side, but Tubberclair do well, or Shandonagh do well to get possession. Then as Tubberclair man heading back towards his own goes to ground, but they get the foul. I think it's a cramp there for one. Shandonagh players, they're all needed now. Garrett Carr.
Yeah, I think what happened is Ben Traynor gathered the ball and he went to go by a guy. He seemed to pull something in the back or get into cramp, and then obviously the kick was a little while over the sideline, but Shandonagh have done well now to break into the Tubberclair half.
Yeah, and Darren Bitchell has carried it forward as Aaron Craig there looking for the ball. Gives it to Craig. Craig back now as far as Brian Kavanagh. Kavanagh, loving ball inside. Tom Malloy has it. Tom, nice dummy, takes a shot. We're level again.
Yeah, and those few older heads, they've been in this situation before. Aaron Craig with very quick hands. Kavanagh with a brilliant ball inside to the buzzing Tom Malloy, and when you really need him, he's there, he stands up and yeah, he's had a bit of difficulty there, Ray, after going down in cramp.
Yeah. John Fry has just been introduced. He's the number 24. Another player who played over 2 hours of hurling in the last 7 days or so. So he's gone into the full back position. The ball is on the ground with Kevin Fagan. We're 30 seconds or so remaining. We're tied at 15 points apiece. Referee and linesman are happy that we're ready to get underway. Barry Pearce signals and Kevin Fagan. Every one of these possessions are close. We'll wait to see what additional time will be added. It's gathered out there very well there by the man introduced there as Cormac Gordon. Cormac showing all his experience. 3 minutes is the additional time. Darren Bitchell gives it on now to Tom Malloy. 3 minutes. We're into those 3 minutes just now as Garrett Carr comes forward. Back to Conor McCrossan. McCrossan back as far as Adam Traynor. Traynor about to be closed down by Darragh O'Connor. Gives the ball across to that far side. Or Danny Scahill has it. Scahill works it inside and there's a chance out for Cormac Gordon. Can he go forward? A little bit of space in front of him. Pops it off to McCrossan. Big collision there off the ball, but the ball is fed inside. Tubberclair Shandonagh have possession. The referee allows the ball to go on. There's a chance. Oh, great bravery there. The ball broke somehow to Matty Scully, the right corner back. He was about to pull the trigger on it, but Tubberclair man thrown himself right in front of it, and it's gone out for a 45. Now Danny Scanlon kicked 145. This one is more to suit the right footed kicker.
Ray, what a huge moment. A little toe poke of a ball into the danger area by McCrossan. Mickey Boyle comes out, very clean hands, made sure he got his toe under the ball, offloaded to Matty Scully, and as the defender came across, got his body in the line. But as you said, this is an opportunity for Daniel Scahill, county senior footballer, if he can kick it and strike it as cleanly as the last one.
Well, he's hit it cleanly. Is it drawn in? It's not. Unfortunately, it stayed out to the right.
Yeah, so a super chance. We've got a minute and a half, 90 seconds left of the allotted time. Kevin Fagan will look to drive this long over the top. I see Tom Burke making a big move. Possession is key for everybody here. That's a lovely kick by Kevin Fagan. That's so controlled into
McCabe's arms.
Into McCabe, and now it's with the man that they want on the ball. Will he probe, or will Shandonagh pull him down outside? I don't have any problem with cynical play at this moment, Ray. That's what any team would want to do, what they're cautioned. There's been a breach, or it seems to be a breach, and they're claiming it, but
the referee doesn't see it, linesman doesn't see it either. Inside the half, I think they're getting confused with the halfway line and the 65-metre line. Tubberclair, they'll hold that possession now as they come forward. Can they create an open? The ball is going right down the line into the far side. Try the engineer, one last opportunity. We're into the final 30 seconds or so. 3 minutes allocated. Now there is certainly a breach.
There's not the breach, Ray, more than Tom Malloy had hands all over Matthew Whittaker. wouldn't let him advance. Everybody's watching the ball ahead of them. And look, it's time for cool heads on the pitch and rolling from the sideline.
Here, the shot is fired in. Oh, what a kick! Now they're not going to Taylor Slavin.
That young man, Ray.
Oh,
what a day he's after having. What a day. A massive kick in the first half, and that to put them 2 points ahead with a couple of seconds left on the clock, and it's to Barry Pearce's discretion now. Shandonagh are trying to drive up the field. The instruction will be pull that man down. He's over carried the ball as much as maybe Gavin Delaney put in a heavy belt on him, and that's it. Game over. And Tubberclair are county champions for 2025.
17-15. What a finish! Everyone in the field was shouting for a breach and a breach. The referee didn't see it, or whatever, didn't ignore the pleas, but Taylor Slavin ignored everyone else. The ball was popped back out to him, and Taylor, with great confidence, fired it over the bar for the winning score, a 2-pointer. And brilliant ending to this game. It's been exciting. There was very little between them the whole way through the game. Heartbreak for Shandonagh in the end, but Tubberclair, I think, with the advantage of the breeze in that second half, just did enough. They were trailing at half time, they turned it around. It took that magical kick from Taylor Slavin at the very end to get victory for them, and they are county champions for 2025.
Yeah. Look, what a magical moment for a young man of that age, or for any man of any age. You're all square, you're going into the next 10 seconds left on the clock or less. And to kick a 2-pointer like that in the county final for, as I mentioned already, a young man doing his leaving cert, I think, although they have midterm break this week, I'd say Mr. Salmon would have given him no homework for the whole week, Ray, after something like that. He had an excellent game. Credit to Shandonagh, and we've always had to do this in this situation, but I thought they contributed to a massive game of football. Conditions took away from it slightly, but both sides were so ambitious, so well coached. Very, very disappointing for them. Perhaps a draw would have been a result that Shandonagh would have grasped with a couple of minutes to go, but the second half from this young Tubberclair team, I think a lot of credit has to go to Kevin Fagan for that last kick out to Owen McCabe to engineer that opportunity for Taylor Slavin. It takes guts to take that on. A goalie could have easily driven it long where Tom Burke had made a run, but he found his county midfielder. A bit of quality football after that, and Taylor Slavin pops up on, was he 43 metres out and just stroked the ball over. Beautiful score to wrap up what I think was a really high quality intermediate football final. And the celebrations down in Glasson, I'm sure there won't be smoked salmon to be found by the end of the week, or brown bread down in the lake house, Ray. They're going to have a great time down there, the Prosecco and whatever else that they do down there. But very, very well deserved. A project that started in January, as I know, and you and I spoke about it, and it's come to conclusion now. They had an excellent championship, one little blip in the group game, but very much worthy winners today. As I said, credit to Shandonagh. I think Ray Sheridan has done a fabulous job there with them for the year, and just probably were a little shy on the scoreboard in the first half, even though they had a good 10 or 12 minutes to wrap up the first half. Probably a couple of scores shy, and credit to Tubberclair and congratulations to them all.
Exactly. We're going to finish up here on commentary, and we're going to go to a break, and we'll be back for a pitch-side analysis. We'll be back for the presentation of the cup. For myself and Shane, we were going to finish up here. We're in the Murtagh Precast Intermediate Football Championship Final. Victory at the death for Tubberclair. 17 points to Shandonagh's 15. We'll say goodbye, but we'll be back with the presentation, as I said, analysis pitch-side in the next couple of minutes.
TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GAA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Sevens Coaches, proud sponsor of Westmeath GAA Hurling Championships. Clark's Bar, wishing all teams the very best today. MJ Stone Building and Developments, proud sponsor of Westmeath GAA.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shay Murtagh Precast.
And his team of officials. Well done, Barry, and thank you. All the pundits predicted a very tight game here today. For once, they got it right. Good. Shandonagh, you will have to wait another year for senior football. But there is no doubt it will come. You've had a great year and you fought valiantly today. So hold your heads up high, Shandonagh. Well done. Today belongs to Tubberclair. Just about. Well done and congratulations, Tubberclair. You deserve your victory. I want to acknowledge one young man here before we go to the Cup. I want to acknowledge Owen McCabe. We started this tradition a couple of years ago of acknowledging people who made their cap for Westmeath in the year 2025. Owen enjoyed that distinction this year, playing his first game for Westmeath, and he did very well in that first year and put in a great performance today. So we'll be acknowledging the rest of the players tomorrow, but Owen couldn't come 2 days in a row from Tubberclair. He might have something else to do in Tubberclair tomorrow.
Do you take a manager or player onto now? No.
Now get to the stage where we'll hand over the beautiful Peter Garrity Cup, Peter from Ballymore. So I'm going to hand it over to Fred Keller to accept the cup on behalf of the whole Tubberclair team and the parish of Tubberclair. Sorry, I didn't see Paul's tie there. Well done, Paul. Okay, Fred.
First of all, I want to thank obviously the county board for everything they do, fixtures, everything like that. Brilliant. We wouldn't have brilliant games and days like this without yourselves. So just thanks to the county board. Then to the referee Barry and match officials today. Thanks a million again for letting the game flow. It's never easy on days like this, and you're always going to annoy one side. But I thought you did a great job today. So a round of applause just for the referee and this team today. To Shandonagh, it's a tough day, but we were in your place there a couple of years ago, and I've no doubt that you'll have better days ahead and you'll be straight back up, and hopefully in a couple of years' time we'll see you at a senior ranks and we'll do battle again there. So just 3 cheers for Shandonagh today. Hip hip. Hip hip. And hip hip. Next, I just want to acknowledge a good club man who unfortunately this day last year passed away, and that man is Sonny Farrell. And I know he would love to be here today, so I just want to have a round of applause, and he's up there with to our own management team, Keith, Daniel, Paul, Barry, Gary, Sham, everyone there. It's brilliant. Danny's having senior, so don't forget him. It's brilliant, the amount of work you put in for us, the effort, the behind the scenes stuff. To Paul Madden for setting my expenses every month. Hey! I just want to say, no, brilliant, thanks. So look, to Daniel, he's had us all underage the whole way through up. The years and years he's given to the club, and days like this are for him, and it means more to him than it probably will to any of us. So just cheers to Danny. To Keith then, Keith's new to us this year, and it's been a freshness that we've needed. And without him today, the tactical work, is travelling over. He's brilliant, and I know at the start of the year he came to us in his time tracksuit bottoms, but I suppose we'll give him today. Finally, to the players, it's been a tough slog over the last 8, 9, 10 years. I know this is some lads' fourth final today, but it's brilliant that we got it done. And I know the club are fundraising tonight, so if you want to do any fun tonight, I'll be at the fire at the Villager.
Yeah, an absolutely brilliant speech there by Captain Fred Kelleher, and you know his score was fairly pivotal in that second half. Paul,
yeah.
A great 2-pointer that he got, and we see him there in front of the youngsters, the future of Tubberclair here. And look, it was always going to come down to tight margins. Shandonagh will feel they had a chance, maybe a couple of goal chances that went a little bit astray, but there's no one denying Tubberclair are here today. They've won the title, they've won the Peter Geraghty Cup, just about though, Paul.
Yeah, look, cracking finish. You know, probably wasn't the most exciting game. The weather determined that, but it was always close. It was always tense. It was always going to come down to the last kickaway ball or something. Tom here beside me had even predicted a draw. He wasn't far out. Look, cracking finish. Something I may have gone and noticed at the end. It was Luke Tynan had a great chance for a goal for Shandonagh. I think it was Matthew Whitaker that came across and got that last block, and the ball went out for a 45.
Well, it wasn't Luke Tynan either, because
sorry, it was
Danny Scanlon, I think, might have had it.
Yeah, and Scanlon then had the 45, and it went inches wide. You know, and they're the things that swings and roundabouts. So that goal gone in, Shandonagh probably would have won it. Came up at the other end, and you know, a great score from Taylor Slevin. While everybody on the sideline here was screaming for a breach, I saw there was a clear breach, and it was there for a long time, Paul. A long time, wasn't picked up. But anyway, they got the points as it happened.
And speaking of that breach, would Shandonagh have settled for the breach? Take the free. It was only 1 point game then. Barry Pearce might have played an extra couple of minutes to get the draw.
Yeah, and everyone was just. But in fairness, Tubberclair, they concentrated on the game. Concentrated on the game, kept going, and a great winner. What a winner! Look, pity there had to be a winner. Draw probably would have been a fair result, but look, Tubberclair come out on top in the end.
Yeah, well, Scats, yourself and Buddy lost their money today on the draw, but it was damn close, Tom.
Yeah, it was a 2-pointer. The winner was the difference in two teams. I thought at half time that if I was putting money, it would be Tubberclair, but you have to say, we said at half time, Fred Kelleher and Danny Scattle watched that battle. Fred Kelleher came out, scored a point, and then he scored a 2-pointer. But Tubberclair won't mind what way they won that game. All they want to do at the start of the year is get up senior. They're up senior now. All that work, all the hard work.
And I think we'll make a good fist of senior football.
I would like to see that team on the hot summer's day and playing senior football, playing quick football, slick football.
A lot of young players coming through. Like the under 20s from Westmeath, a lot of them there. You know, Finn Duffy, Keelan Connell. You know, Matthew's very young as well. Lots of good young players. Tom Burke.
Yeah, the future is very bright for Tubberclair. I thought one guy that I would have put as man of the match, or my man of the match, was Gavin Delaney. He put in a massive shift midfield. I seen him there when the chips were down. He was leadership. He was talking. He was calming lads down. He was kind of directing traffic there. But he went up for a lot of ball in midfield. They didn't get the one midfield Tubberclair today. But the ones that he went up for and he batted down that didn't win, I thought he was excellent. That block at the end by Matthew Whitaker was unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. That's the kind of
inspiration. And just as I say that, Daniel Salmon and Keith Higgins are coming in alongside us. Go gorgeous, lads.
Cheers, thanks.
Go gorgeous, very well done. We had a little chat here a couple of weeks ago. Keith, not the first time in Westmeath. The boys are slagging you about the togs that you're wearing, but look, it has to be a proud day. As a Tubberclair man yourself, it has to be a proud day both for you and for your club, and indeed for the parish.
Yeah, like the last couple of years, we've been getting closer and closer, but we probably weren't really ready, and people from the outside thought we were, but we knew this year. We were here for the last 3 years in minor finals, and like we've been talking about that crop of players coming through and just adding to what we had, and I think it was one of them who picked up. I'm not even sure who picked the winner. I think it was Taylor.
Taylor, yeah.
He's only 18 up from cornerback.
They were calling him Tyler here in the stand.
You call him what you want, but no, it's Taylor. But I suppose just have to say this man, like I've been with him since from number 15 or 16, but I think he'd probably be the only man that's loved in Tubberclair and Tang now over the next couple of years. So like just what he's brought to it is just another level, and the players have brought into that.
And Keith, speaking of that, it's your first year with Tubberclair. Let's be honest about it. You've been with a lot of teams over the years. Does this take a little bit more satisfaction than another team?
Yeah, I think any time you're fortunate enough to win a championship, there's huge satisfaction in that. And look, in fairness, we probably made it very difficult by times for ourselves today. But geez, like that crop of young lads, like we say, young lads, they've plenty of experience. They've won minor finals here. You know, they know what I suppose it's like to win, and in that last few minutes for like a Taylor to come up, and I suppose even the composure that we did show to find the score. Like we kind of said, look, with the breeze, it's easy to be trigger happy when you have the breeze, but I thought we actually controlled it really well. And no, in fairness, look, I'm here this year, but the work that's going on there for years and years to get them lads where they are now is just incredible.
I know of that work. I've been involved with Mullingar Shamrocks. They're our absolute nemesis over the last number of years, and this man in particular. But, you know, there's been great battles at Compagnie. And today, Daniel, a lot of those lads came of age. Keelan Connell, I thought, had a particularly good game. Taylor Slevin. You know, a lot of those lads that have come through the system that yourself and a lot of other lads have put their shoulder to the wheel on. You know, and it's days like this that makes all that previous work, you know, it's a reward for all that work that you've done.
You're right, like it is hard work, and there's no secret. Like I think I took them over in 2021, and the week of Christmas they were in the gym doing their running. They love football, and I know Keelan, I don't know, but he's been called into the Westmeath senior panel as well, and I think, you know, more than Matthew, he's just someone now that we're rating to go to the next level. And, you know, working at a county setup, and hopefully we'll bring him to that as well and kick on. And the hard work starts now. I suppose it's going to get tougher as we go up to senior.
But we've been talking, Tom and myself and Paul have been talking about this as well. They're a team that are ready to go to that next level. You know, sometimes you see teams coming up from another grade who really struggle. I think this Tubberclair team have all the essentials that could go particularly well. Tom said it, particularly in that B division next year. We've seen Gary Castle this year, came up from intermediate last year. Slightly unlucky not to be in a county semi-final, only a last-minute goal that knocked them out of that. So, I mean, there's a lot to look forward to, as well as a lot of work to be done. I think no doubt about it, but there is a lot to look forward to.
Water there, Tanger there, Athlone there. There's so many cracking local games, like, you know, and yeah.
And you hate local games, of course. It's a horrible thing to be going playing your neighbours. Like.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
You don't get up for them games at all.
Just can't wait.
Keith, you know, it's been a tremendous championship. You know, we've seen these two teams play each other twice now, and cracking good football today. Probably conditions didn't allow for that today.
Yeah, look, conditions didn't allow, but sure, look, they were the same, I suppose, for both teams. And at half time, I suppose we would have probably just spoken about the importance of doing the basics right, and you know, but it was what it was for both teams. And look, whether it's a day like this or a bright sunny day, once we come out the right side, we
let's not forget your opponents today, Shandonagh as well. They played their part in a really decent game, and another team that are coming very similar to Tubberclair with a huge underage structure. Like they will have better days.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of, we would have spoken about it, I suppose, coming up. You mentioned there about, you know, we're ready to push on to senior football with Tubberclair, but I suppose Shandonagh would equally, as they have been in the past, they're, you know, more than able to compete in that senior as well, and so are, you know, a few of the top teams in around the intermediate. And you know, unfortunately for them, I suppose only one can get up. It is. I mentioned that to you last week. It's incredibly competitive. It's very, you know, but look, we're just thrilled. So we are.
Lads, congratulations. Enjoy your night tonight. The very best of luck to you in senior football next year, and indeed in the Leinster Championship to come up.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.
Keith Higgins and Daniel Salmon, two very excited men, and you know, it's a red letter day for the south of the county. It's been two intermediate championships now for the south of the county. Tom, you're a happy man. Gary Castle last year, Tubberclair this year, and probably just about deserving winners. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, we obviously we said it.
Having said that, we would have took a draw. I would have took a draw.
We would have taken a draw, but
you would have been able to buy a few points tonight, which is a very unusual thing for you. No, but I know you're the only man in Ireland with short hands and deep pockets, so
I wouldn't begrudge any of the teams that were going to go to senior. But I'm particularly delighted for Tubberclair because they have been the flag bearers for the southern clubs on how to do things over the last couple of years. Jerry Walker is a very good Tubberclair club man.
Just on my periphery here.
I just seen down through the line, Niall Walker is still playing. I had many battles against him. But the Tubberclair club themselves can be very proud how they've handled themselves after they're asked to get off the pitch. They got off the pitch in good time. Great celebrations.
There's Jerry himself.
Kevin Fagan would have been probably at the end of a couple of bad mistakes over the last couple of years. He's overcoming that this year. He had a great game himself, especially that last kick out, as Shandonagh has said. But overall, it's going to be some party with Goldsmith girls after winning, and now Tubberclair winning. It'll be some party in Glasgow.
You won't be there, of course, because no, you don't like that type of crack at all. No, you wouldn't be used to that, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll pick up the glasses.
That's a good man.
And Paul, great developments going down in Tubberclair as well. You know, they've great plans for the future, and they've just announced them there this year. So all's going well. Under 20s are in a underage final as well coming up. So
don't mention the war.
But all the future certainly bright down in Tubberclair. There's a lot of hard work going on. People working in the background. It's finally.
One of them there is just in front of the camera. Jerry, he's pulling cones out here at the moment.
Paul, who would you give him man of match?
Oh, you have to wait and read that in the topic, won't you? There was, lots of lessons.
Let's not forget Shandonagh and all this. Like, they were only beaten by a very late score. A wonderful score, what she said, but they had their chances to win.
I took some great unders to keep them in the game, you know. Alan Trainer picked a great up. But they, they really had, and when Tom Malloy put them, got that point, squeezed it in near the end, must have thought this was going to be their day. But, as I said, Tubberclair just came back and just took over at the end, and nothing in it, but just licked it in the end.
A bit like our French, a bit like Tom's pockets, there's nothing in it. Look, we're going to wind up here. It's been an exciting day. It's been a mixture of weather. We've had 4 seasons in one day. It's like a song here at the moment, but it's been 4 seasons in one day. The pitch held up extremely well, in fairness. Huge crowd here. It's been very, very enjoyable, I have to say, in what can only be described as winter conditions at the moment. But today belongs to the boys from Tubberclair. Tubberclair are now intermediate championship. They bring the Peter Gerry Cup home for 12 months. Shandonagh have to start again at intermediate level next year. Our condolences to Shandonagh. They've been tremendous ambassadors this year for the intermediate grade. But today belongs to Tubberclair. My thanks to Ollie, my thanks to Ger, Donny, to Ray on commentary, along with Shay Donahue, and to Paul O'Donovan and to Tom Brown. We're back here again tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't forget, it's the senior county final day. It's St. Loman's Mullingar, or not, it's not St. Loman's Mullingar. Ali Gallagher is at the way of that. It's Kinnegad, Curristown Kinnegad versus the Downs, and what promises to be a really good game here, and our minor final, of course, between Mullingar Shamrocks and the Downs. The Downs, of course, going for a full run-through of underage titles this year. They've won at 16, 14, and they're now looking for the minor title. So it promises to be a really good day here tomorrow. Do come and join us on AirV TV from Paul Doolan and from all the crew, and indeed from our 24/7 crew in Solihull in the United Kingdom. Many, many thanks to the boys. But see you again tomorrow. Do come and join us here in TEG Cusick Park. For the moment, it's Shandonagh Bannock.
TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Seventh Coaches, proud sponsor of Westmeath GA Hurling Championships. Clark's Bar, wishing all teams the very best today. MJ Stone Building and Developments, proud sponsor of Westmeath GA.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shay Murtagh Precast.